Alright, hello, and welcome to the Shark Stream, and happy Valentine's Day! Oh my god. Am I y'all's Valentine? Better be. Give me 1 second. It's Saturday. Hi, my name's Gage, aka Acid Shark. It's Shadowbringers Saturday. It doesn't really quite roll off the tongue. It's Final Fantasy Day for us. And we got some stuff to do today for the Final fans. Before we actually, the main thing we're going to be getting into is we're going to be getting into Part 4 of Shadowbringers, aka patches 5.4 through 5.55, which is the lead-in to Endwalker. But before we do that, so a while back, when we initially finished the main Shadowbringers MSQ, what was available for the MSQ at launch, thou mayst recall, perhaps, that we did something called a Master Roll Quests. A Master Roll Quest. Hello, Lila. Welcome. Wherein we discovered the identity of the Shadowkeeper, who was in part responsible for the events that led to the Flood of Light on the first. And we found out that it was Sayela, also known as Silva, the elf what works in at Dubois as Dubois Maid. And we found out that she was a denizen of the 13th, aka the Void, who was previously a hero. But when the Void fell to darkness, she was plucked out of the 13th by an Ascian and given a new role. What they promised her, I don't fucking remember, but you know, it's whatever. I gotta make a gross noise real quick, 1 second. Okay. Ultimately, what we found was that despite her role as the Shadowkeeper and the part she played in the machinations that led to the Flood of Light, she was every bit as much of every bit as much of a friend of Ardbert and the Warriors of Light of the First as anyone. And we helped her remember that, and we told her, "Girl, you don't need to fucking do suicide by Warrior of Light. Forgive thyself. Ardbert would have forgiven you. He probably did." And ultimately, she chose life. As we all should. There is a second to those role quests that was only added after a few patches into the Shadowbringers post-game. And today we're going to be starting our stream by taking a look at that quest, before moving on to the quests of 5.44. 5.44? What the fuck? 5.4. So that's the plan. We're gonna take a look at that, and then we're gonna head on into MSQ. Once we're done with MSQ, which is probably going to take maybe a couple more weeks, we have one more quest line before we can consider Shadowbringers good and completed. And then, well, we're going to take a break from Final Fantasy for a little while. I don't know what's going to replace it, but I'm sure I can find something fucking long-winded and time-consuming. Lord knows I've got plenty of JRPGs. But yeah. So that's the plan. I'm going to eat some of the Shinra Moon I've got in front of me. 1 second. Gulp. In gaming news, there are many options, it's true. In gaming news, there have been developments. So, you may recall yesterday I mentioned that the ultimate quality of Chronos: The New Dawn made me excited for whatever else Bloober Team has in the pipeline. I may have spoken perhaps a little too soon. Okay, so Bloober Team announced their next game, which is Layers of Fear 3. And I could not be less interested right out the gate. Okay, so if you don't know, Layers of Fear was basically Bloober Team's breakout hit. It was released in the wake of PT and Silent Hills being canceled and PT being completely pulled from the PlayStation Marketplace. To the point that even if you had previously downloaded it, you could not download it again if you deleted it. The only way that you could keep PT is if you have a PS4 that had it downloaded while it was available. If you don't have that, you're shit out of luck and you will never be able to play PT. In the wake of this, there were many PT-likes that popped up. Just as an example, we played Visage. Visage is a pretty prominent PT-like. Another one that popped up was Layers of Fear by Bloober Team. Basically a bunch of games where the entire thing is sort of like cyclical, psychological horror stuff that is basically just you walking down a bunch of hallways, maybe dealing with like some kind of looming supernatural threat that is stalking you on occasion. And Layers of Fear is pretty bog standard for those types of games. Like, it's not really bringing anything new to the table that PT didn't do in a much more interesting way. Its most notable thing is that it has an event where once you cross an event trigger, a baby runs out of a hallway, brains itself on a low table, floats in the air a little bit, and then eventually disappears. You may have seen Germa do this multiple times. Wait, that's Layers of Fear? Yes, that's Layers of Fear. We can play that game. I have it. Now, Layers of Fear is pretty bog standard, but it's Layers of Fear 2 that, as I understand it, was incredibly ableist in its storyline. This is kind of where we start to see Bloober Team's unfortunate reputation kind of rear its ugly head. Layers of Fear 2, Blair Witch, and The Medium all kind of form like this microcosm of just like, if you have any sort of like physical or mental disability, well, you probably don't want to know what Bloober Team thinks that you should do about that. Per those games. Yeah, it's rough. It's not good. Now, I've never played Layers of Fear 2. I do own it, so I could. We could, at some point, eventually, take a look at the Layers of Fear series ahead of Layers of Fear 3 coming out. And just, you know, see what that's all about. Do we want to? I have them. Like, there's there's a sort of like we might as well threshold that we could potentially reach. I didn't like actually set up for, hold on, I gotta, where's my fucking controller? There it is. I gotta set up the New Game Plus, hold on. Listen, I have like a very like distinct sort of like line in the sand that like I tend to draw in terms of do I bother playing this game or not? Do I give this game the time of day? With some of the stuff that Bloober Team's done, it can be useful to at the very least take a look at those games and just kind of discuss them in like what they get wrong or how they do things poorly. Kind of like what we did with the Medium. There is a useful conversation to have there. There's less useful conversations to have if I did something like, say, a Five Nights at Freddy's game, or please, for the love of God, like, put a bullet in my head if this ever happens, if I ever even touched a Harry Potter game. Please promise that you'll take me out. At least metaphorically, not literally. But like there's less of a constructive conversation that we can have about those, because paying for those puts money in the pockets of people who will do material harm. I don't necessarily think that Bloober Team is out here funneling the money that they get from their games into like anti-mental health like legislation. As far as I know, as far as we're aware of, I don't know what the mental health situation is like in Poland, but until we like hear something otherwise, like let's assume that just like they're probably not doing that. They're probably funneling that money into making other games. Hopefully games that handle their subject matters reasonably well and aren't the Medium. I mean, judging by Chronos, I don't think it's particularly great. Fair. Chronos takes... the past parts take place in the 1980s, so probably not 100% representative. Have some more noodles, 1 second. Bob Vids has stated before. Bob Vids was 100% on, and I think to a certain extent still is 100% on like the Bloober hate train. Post the Medium. Right now, it's pretty much strictly like the Medium era Bloober Team hate train. I'm pretty sure, just because like I've seen people like go to him just like, hey, can you tear into this person who doesn't understand why people hate the Medium? And he's just like, I really don't want to have to like revisit that state of mind, which is understandable. But even he's kind of pointed out that like, if nothing else, Bloober Team can be receptive to criticism and can properly take criticism to heart. So I don't know, like, listen, I really liked Chronos the New Dawn. I really did. I wanted to be excited for like whatever the next like original piece of work Bloober Team was working on was. I don't really have a huge amount of faith in the Layers of Fear series, is kind of the issue. Like, that's kind of like the primary thing, you know? I am not exactly chomping at the bit for more Layers of Fear content. I can definitely see where, if you're already a Bloober hater, you can take Chronos themes quite negatively. Oh yeah, no, absolutely. Like, I do think that that game, like, ends on, like, if you do new game, like, okay, the main new game endings are definitely intended to be really bleak. I assume to encourage you to go into New Game Plus with the hopes of getting a better ending. Along the lines of there's gotta be hope, and emphatically telling you no, there's not. Yeah, no, absolutely. Which is why I think, like, it's kind of this thing, I don't know how much I like the idea of hiding better endings behind New Game Plus in certain situations. I think the way that Silent Hill F encourages New Game Plus runs by not only giving you access to new endings, but also giving you new information and, like, updating, like, the events, like, changing how things look and how things play out in a New Game Plus run is a good way to do it. So, just so that it doesn't feel like you're just playing the same thing again. Also, Shelf explicitly tells you there are multiple endings from the get-go. Yeah, 100%. I want to say that, if I recall correctly, I think Chronos says that, like, there's a different ending if you do New Game Plus. But the problem there, of course, is that Chronos New Game Plus is the same fucking game. Like, it's just, if you've already played through Chronos The New Dawn on its first run, and, like, let's say that you already did not have a good time engaging with that game's, like, plot and themes, and the endings leave a bad taste in your mouth with how they seemingly just say, like, oh, there's no hope and it's foolish to think that there is. You're probably not gonna go through New Game Plus, admittedly. Like, you're probably gonna look at that and think, no, I don't think I will. Which is what's kind of unfortunate, because I do feel like getting the New Game Plus ending makes the whole experience worth it to an extent. Like, listen, if it didn't have that, and, like, all that, like, I had to show for my experience was a very frustrating campaign with no difficulty settings that, like, more than once it just felt unfair in its level of difficulty, and then, like, an ending that tells me, hey, you're an idiot for thinking that there's hope, I would probably also be pissed. To be fair, you also have people who played Shulf once and didn't want to experience it again. True. But I think it's a matter of, like, presentation and framing, you know? Like, Shilf is interesting where when you finish it for the first time, it basically kind of, like, holds a huge sign up to your face where just, like, there's a very specific thing that you could have done differently. And that you could do differently if you were to run this again in, you know, not taking the pills. So, like I said, I think it's definitely a matter of, like, framing and presentation. But again, I really like Chronos. Imagine a Chronos New Game Plus where you actually see evidence of Traveler and Warden trying to change things. Yeah, no, absolutely. Like, I don't think there was... And, like, part of it is just, like, there's also stuff in Chronos The New Dawn where it's just, like, I was kind of hoping I would get more answers on stuff. Where it was just, like... this, like, weird-ass flesh plague is just, like... I feel bad talking about all of this now when we're not playing Chronos The New Dawn. But I was playing for, like, 4.5 hours yesterday, so... And we're not going to get another chance because we're not going back to Chronos The New Dawn. We're actually going to be doing No One Lives Under the Lighthouse next Friday. Which I've been told I'm really going to like. We can get back to the ever-exciting layers. We can get back to the ever-exciting Layers of Fear. Well, this is all tied into Layers of Fear. Because it's just like, Chronos The New Dawn was interesting. because it was a brand new thing. We were starting from like a fresh slate with regards to like, this is a brand new Bloober team. Hold on. Narrative. We have no preconceived notions about what they are attempting or expecting to do. We just have a new world to explore, a new plot thread to examine, new themes. Just, we're starting from zero. We're starting from square one. Layers of Fear 3, we have a lot of preconceived notions about what to expect. Because we have 3 Layers of Fear games. We have, well, technically 3. We have Layers of Fear, we have Layers of Fear 2, and then we have a remake of the first game. We have effectively 3 Layers of Fear games prior to this that we can kind of take a look at and see this is sort of what to expect going into Layers of Fear 3. So, if you're a Bloober hater, so like let's take a look at this from like different levels, right? If you are a diehard Bloober stan, right? You're looking at Layers of Fear 3 and you're pogging the fuck off. Right? You're pogging all over the place in thick ropey strands. You are excited, you can't wait, you are ready for some crazy psychological fuckery. If you are lukewarm on Bloober, which is, I would say, is about where I'm at right now, where it's just like, the medium didn't impress me. Layers of Fear, I know, is pretty bog standard. Any positive memories I have of Blair Witch have been tainted by finding out what that game's ultimate ending and themes are. But I liked Silent Hill 2 Remake, and I like Chronos the New Dawn. I think Silent Hill 2 Remake is a little long in the tooth, but overall, I think it's pretty good, and I think they did a serviceable job adapting the original work in a new, somewhat interesting way, in terms of how like characters are framed and things like that. And I would honestly say I think I like Chronos the New Dawn a little bit more than Silent Hill 2 Remake. In terms of like looking at it like as Bloober games, you know? So like I'm warming back up to Bloober after like not being impressed following the medium. So when they say, hey, we're making a new Layers of Fear, I am perhaps hesitant, because we're talking about returning to a time back when I wasn't a huge fan of Bloober Team's work, and what they were doing with their narratives. And if you're a hardcore Bloober hater, then, oh man, this sucks ass. But I think we can all agree, thank God it's not a Rule of Rose remake. Oh, man. Eat some more noodles. So right now, like, I feel like where I'm at right now with regards to like, oh hey, it's Layers of 3. Layers of 3R is kind of a situation where it's like, okay, I don't have high hopes. Prove me wrong, basically. Kind of where I was at for Silent Hill 2 Remake. Excuse me. Alright, we've kept Cielo standing here waiting long enough. Hey girl, hey, how you doing? Safekeeping. Ciela appears surprised, though not displeased, to see you. If it isn't Igale, loitering about the stairs just like any old evening. Here I was worried that you'd gone back to your world for good and I was too late. Aww. It's just that I've been thinking about the crystals belonging to the Warriors of Light. I hear they ended up with you after you lot defeated the Virtues. I assume you have Ardberts as well? Indeed, that does seem appropriate. His bond with Seto is deep and enduring. As for the others, I had hoped you might be persuaded to leave them in my care. It was only right that they, like Ardbert, should accompany you on your journey to set this world back on its proper course. Yet you now have a home you must return to, while the first is theirs. After all they did to keep it safe, they deserve to be here to see what its future holds. Herm. Oh, don't make that face. I know it's a big decision, but it needn't fall entirely to you. There are others here who care for the Warriors of Light as much as you do, aren't there? Uh-huh. Da-do-da-dee. Giot. Gulp, gulp, gulp. Ah. Now that's some damn fine ale. How many should I order for you? I know you ain't much of a drinker, so... Oh, fuck! 6, 7! Hold on. I gotta take a screenshot of that. 1 second. Jesus Christ, hello, wife. Bunny, bunny, banani, banani. What? You want help? You want help deciding the fate of Alamit's crystal and the others too? Does this place have any bigger tankards? Well, if you insist, Lou Rico's be drinks, plural, so I'll make sure he joins us. Maybe find Granson while I'm at it. You go on and wait with Sarah Container. Order around while I'm out. You hear? Clip it. Been lurking, but hearing the shouting 6-7 made me comment. Understandable. Hey kid, how's it hanging? Giot seems excited. Should I be concerned? Good to see you, Igale. What did you say that has Giot so worked up? Ah, bunny, bunny, banani, banani, banoy. You may notice I have a different gunblade, by the way. Figmental weapons coffers were really cheap on the market board. They were down to like 2 milli. 2.x milli, I should say. Which was within my budget. The crystals, eh? That does sound like a conversation worth getting everyone together for. Did Lou Reek really promise to pay for Giot's drinks? That's a disaster in the making. Not just hers, rounds for the lot of us. Might be that the lad yet has a few things to learn about coin and the scarcity thereof. Finally got the shark blade then. I did. I'm very excited. Still, I'll not turn down his generosity. Go and tell the barkeep we'll be needing food and ale for the table. Fine, but please try to exercise some restraint. I'll not carry you back to the room again. Oh, this has one of my favorite cutscene moments, I'm realizing. Hi, Lurik. Here we are. How much of a head start did you get? Should I ask him to bring out the cask? I reckon we should hear Igale out first. Uh-huh. Bunny bun bunny bunny bun 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 bunny banani banani bun bunny bun bunny bun bunny bunny bun bunny bunny bunny. Bunny bunny bun bunny 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 bunny. So, you're telling me that the barmaid was one of Nilebert's companions, not to mention the Shadowkeeper? And from a different world? It's laying it on a bit thick. It certainly raises questions. Quite, such as how she retains her youthful visage. Not that. I had my suspicions about her. The other night I was at the counter, quaffing my ale, having a grand time, and next I realize I'm outside without a gill to my name. And it ain't the first time. Girl, you got blackout drunk. Could only be the power of the Shadowkeeper. And not that you drink enough to fell a small army. I fucking love Giot so goddamn much. Hygel says it's true, then I'm inclined to believe it, which leaves us with the matter of entrusting the crystals to her. Uh-huh. She's right that this was Brandon's home, the others too, and it's home to their most important memories. Not all of them good, maybe, but everyone they loved is laid to rest here. I agree. Nilebert belongs here. Artbert's crystal is with Seto, in this world. Lamet would want to be near. Renda Ray as well, I think. She'd want to be with her friends in the place that she loved. So should I, like, just give him to you guys? Uh-huh. It seems we all agree. Uh-huh. A toast, then, to the Warriors of Light. To the Warriors of Light! Drink up. I'm paying, and as bounty hunters, I expect you all to take proper advantage of that. Hey, hate to disappoint, but I'm not much for alcohol. This juice looks nice, though. Oh! It's wine! That's not... Granson being a lightweight is the funniest fucking thing in the world. I don't care what anyone says. Big bad Dark Knight can't take his grog. Before taking a sip. He took one sip and he's flat on his ass. It's great. I like that Lou Reek seems to have all of his faculties still. How did you manage this? Twice the mess and half the time as normal patrons, I swear. I overheard your conversation, by the way. Do you agree with your friends? Obviously. These crystals are yours, Story Keeper. Smile. Their legacies are safe with me. You have my word. Uh-huh. I like that hey, they have bites taken out of them. Thank you. Uh-huh. I didn't take those bites, by the way. That wasn't me. They were like that when I found them. I can feel them. They're memories. Why? Why? Damn it. You're all just like Ardbert. I betrayed you, I manipulated you, and still. You thought of me as a comrade, a friend, until the very end. Oh, don't cry, Zayawa. Or Silva. Whichever you prefer. Sarah, are you alright? Hey man, how you holding up? My head. I did warn you. He did, is true. Lurik! How's my favorite breedable catboy? A week's worth of earnings. How is this possible? Well, I mean, Giot alone. Where's Granson? Granson! This is why I don't drink. Your favorite breedable catboy? Hold on, let me think. Yes. There's like a competition. Does that bucket there? Woo! I can't remember the last time I was so drunk. Or any of the other times, neither, but that ain't important. Successful sousing calls for a celebratory ale. It's not hair of the dog, it's the whole ass dog. Graha? I would... Graha's breedability is more of a question for Natalie, I would say. But, you know, there's no shortage of catboys within Final Fantasies 14. So there's certain to be a few. Like Sharuntia, for example. Although I guess, technically speaking, you can't breed either Graha or Sharun. Culturally speaking. No, you can't because they're Tias. The DT even supplies a few. Is true, it does. Like the Sheriff Catboy. Sheriff Catboy. Or the Pro Wrestling Catboy. Or President Catboy. Or would that be Vice President Catboy? I don't know. Whatever. Hi, Sayella. We've finally managed to clean up after you lot, for the most part. Perhaps next time we should set down a tarpaulin. Nevertheless, I'm grateful to you for entrusting these to me, and as long as I live, I will never stop sharing the true tale of the Warriors of Light. My friends. I don't think the Sheriff Catboy is breedable. He's past menopause. The Hetsado, though, for sure. Whoa, don't pay attention to that. That's nothing. Don't worry about it. Not important yet. Let's go ahead and start part 4 of Shadowbringers. Didn't see nothing. You didn't see nothing in it. How we say's quest. Let's go. Damn. Sorry. That distracted me immediately. Bro, they are objectifying your bunny boy on stream. Bunny parts, we're not even done with this master quest line. No, we've still got to do the void calls. But that's not until after part 4 of Shadowbringers. How I have that scheduled. Oh my god, there's so many fucking people here now. Hi, Graha. I suppose we ought to take stock of the situation. By forestalling the 8th Umbral Calamity, we have unwritten history. The future now lies beyond my ken. None can say what awaits, but so long as we stand together, I doubt not but that we can overcome all trials. Well, we have always done so, have we not? Show him your wind-up mistle! Bro, check it out! We didn't get a chance to do this while we were on the first with the Graha Tia minion. Well now, I have my suspicions as to what this is about, but would you be so good as to confirm them for me? Bunny. Aye, just as I thought. They went ahead with it after all. The artisans of the Mean had come to me with a proposal, you see. In celebration of the knight's return, they asked how I wished to be commemorated, on a coin or as an automaton. Neither, I replied, for all the good it did. They knew I would be embarrassed. Makes no difference what name they gave it. Yet still they did it. It's anatomical? Oh no! That would have to mean that somebody in the Mean knew what Graha's dick looked like. A right stubborn lot they are, as befits the people of the Crystarium. They shall be just fine without me, and Lena may rest assured I do not worry for them. Nevertheless, I shall never cease to pray for their happiness. No longer am I a leader of a nation. Whatever power and influence I may have wielded, I left behind as surely as I left my body. It's a literal Jolly Rancher on the wall. Oh no! But everything I have ever felt and experienced, all of these things and more, I have brought with me. You have brought for me. and I shall carry them close to my heart always, unto the end of my days. Crystal Tower might have the info, but I'm sure someone inside its computer... Sure there's someone inside its computer who'd let it slip. Somewhere deep within the archives of the Crystal Tower is a text file that just says Grahatia has a fat hog. Thanks to your reports, I had known that all was well in the source, but there is no relief like seeing our comrades again with my own eyes. If possible, I should like to thank Estinian in person for the help he lent us while we were away, but it seems he has not been heard from of late. Such is his way. Well, until such time as we meet again, I shall ever pray for his well-being, and take the absence of tidings as a good sign, as I do with our friends in the first. While things are quiet, I think I'll move my body around some more. Need to get used to it. Get it used to the new tricks I learned in the first. To that end, I'll round up Hori and his crew for a spot of sparring. Oh, and Graha too. In my capacity as his senior, I'm obliged to train him as well. I'm obligated to train him as well. Hehehe. Stinian is always yeet the link pearl. Let's just go ahead and get things started. Alice's quest. Kral's eyes light up at the sight of you. Oh, greetings, Igeld. Come to look in on our friends. Rest assured, everyone is quite well. I've been keeping a close eye on them, and have satisfied myself that they are all in fine health. You did what to yourself? As a matter of fact, they are just about to convene in Dawn's Respite to discuss how best to use their pent-up energy. Let's join them, shall we? It sounds like you've already got a head start on that. I'm sorry. Why is this stream so horny, like, right out the gate? What the fuck?
Well, my friends, now that we have all settled back into our bodies,
thank God
it is time we resumed our duties in earnest.
I need a second.
Let us speak of our plans.
Ever since the Emperor's death, it's been one unsettling rumor after another. I have a mind to pay a visit to Garlemald to ascertain the truth of the matter.
A prudent endeavor. 'Tis of the essence that we establish the full extent of the threat, not least if it should prove that Xenos doth indeed orchestrate events from the shadows. In light of which possibility, I shall accompany thee on thy mission. Be assured that thou shalt find me more a help than a hindrance. Thou requirest another to imbue thine ammunition, dost thou not?
Assuming that's settled, there's something I've been meaning to look into as well.
Oh, hey, Lise.
Welcome back, everyone.
Been a hot minute.
Lise!
I forgot Lise shows up here.
You're fine now, right? No more headaches or keeling over?
Man, I forgot Lisa's voice. It's
That's
been a
right.
little bit.
We're fighting fit and raring to go.
The famous Lise Hext, former scion and hero of the Alamegan resistance.
Oh yeah, Lise, you haven't met Graha. Graha, Lise, Lise, Graha.
I don't believe we've met.
Really? It's so easy to assume that all Archons are acquainted. But then I suppose your fields of expertise are rather different.
Also, she wasn't really an Archon.
Grahatir at your service. I have read much and more about your exploits, Commander. It is a pleasure to finally make your acquaintance.
Likewise. The others told me all about you.
Do not be so sure. Words scarcely do justice to the vital role he played in our victory in the first. A more dependable comrade one would be hard-pressed to find.
Trying to make sure I don't, like, spill soup on myself. I'm
Oh,
downing
right.
this broth.
I did glance at the report, but I'd be lying if I said I understood half of it.
You know what? Fair. Alpha No is not happy about that. Just, what do you mean you didn't understand it. I wrote it in plain Eorzean.
Well, that's a lot to take in. Just to be clear, this means we're not heading for another calamity, does it?
Shorn of their unsundered master's leadership, what Ascians remain shall struggle to see their plans to fruition.
So, no.
And though I would ever advise caution, I believe we may rest easy for a time.
I'll take that as a yes. Even so, I don't know what to make of this business about Hydaelyn and Zodiac being primals.
I wouldn't really concern yourself with it
A
too
difficult
much.
truth to bear, yes. But at last we understand the nature of our adversary. And if there are no further calamities, neither will there be rejoinings, meaning Zodiac will never regain his full strength. Even so, as the oldest and mightiest of primals, he remains a force to be feared.
I'm sure that'll never come up,
His
though.
is a power born of the desire for salvation. We have seen the havoc it may wreak. And it falls to us to ensure that it is never again brought to bear upon this star.
But tell us, Lys, to what do we owe the pleasure of your visit?
What do you mean? Isn't seeing my long-lost comrades reason enough? Alright, there was one other matter. I have a message from the Alliance, and before you ask, yes, it's about the Empire.
Oh, we were just talking about them.
So, after Emperor Varys' assassination, it seems his cousin Nerva made a bid for the throne.
They got weird names over
The
there.
trouble is, he wasn't the only one with designs on it, and it didn't take long for a civil war to break out. And it's not just in the provinces. Early reports say huge swathes of the Imperial capital have been reduced to rubble.
Is that how that's supposed to be pronounced?
The Alliance
Do we meet
will soon
Nerva later?
convene in Alamigo
Later?
to decide on a course of action, and we
don't
were
remember
hoping
meeting
you'd
Nerva.
come along.
Well, as it happens, Urianger and I were just this moment planning a little trip to Garlemald. And we should be grateful for any advice the Alliance can provide on how best to make the most of our visit.
To Alamigo, then.
Why don't you go on without me? There's something I need to look into.
Ah, forgive me. You were just telling us. What is it, if I may ask?
I want to find a way to cure the tempered.
Of course. You think it may be possible to adapt the treatment you used to help those corrupted by the Sin Eaters?
I'm sorry, a cure for tempering? But that would change everything. Alizé, consider yourself uninvited. Go and find us this cure.
Wow, okay. I mean, you didn't have to phrase it like that. Jesus.
I'll do my best. I was hoping you might join me. Don't worry if not, though. I won't hold it against you if you'd rather attend a stuffy meeting.
I would literally rather do anything else than attend a stuffy meeting. I like stuffy meeting. What meeting? Lead on.
I knew you'd say yes.
I'll come too. If you don't mind, that is.
Okay, bitch, you look desperate. I'm kidding. Yes, of course. You can come along.
Mind? I'm sure they would be glad of your company. Pray, enjoy your time together with your hero.
Yeah.
No. That's not... I mean...
He's so embarrassed.
I simply thought my knowledge might be of some use.
We shall be on our way, then. Godspeed.
I gotta check something here real quick. Give me a moment. Hello, AK4. Welcome. I forgot that 7.4 has one of my favorite plot bits. It's MSQ, but it's like a side part of it. It's Merlwib. 7.4? Like Dawn Trail? The one that just came out? 5.4. Okay, that makes a little bit more sense. Okay, everybody's looking at me. Guys, hold on. I gotta... Which one would I use? Let's do the Leminson barding. Tatawu. Don't worry, I can say with complete confidence that Graha is dressed for anything. Oh, I know. Believe me. When Y'shtola's about, one cannot even afford even the slightest slip. True. Thing you're doing right now, I'm excited for what you are doing. When I set out to save Halric, I think Gabu was always at the back of my mind. And having proved that the light corrupted are not lost, I'm convinced that the same must be true of the tempered. Similar to those corrupted by the Sin Eaters, the ether of Gabu's soul has been rendered stagnant. And though the root cause is different, perhaps the solution is the same. It is by no means an unreasonable hypothesis, Alisei, and it warrants full investigation. If there's even a chance we can save Gabu, we have to try. But however much I'd like to race over to Limsa and set to work, there's no room for recklessness, not when a child's life is at stake. As I'm sure Beck Lug would remind us, we still know little and less about the soul. Any number of things could go wrong if we don't exercise due caution. And so, before attempting anything, we should learn all we possibly can about tempering. Just one problem. Research into the condition has long since ground to a halt, and the combined work of the many scholars involved doesn't exactly amount to a wealth of knowledge. Not of the modern scholars, perhaps, but what of their ancient counterparts? I know the Oligons took a more than passing interest in the subject. And if what we seek is to be found anywhere, it would surely be at the Etherochemical Research Facility. I do remember this bit being very funny. Where they experimented on primals and their worshippers, yes? Good thinking. I've never actually been there myself, but I did read the reports on Izisla, which means we'll be needing an airship. Heh. An airship, you say? A 45-stream streak. God damn. Good on ya, Ake. Meet me in the northern bank of Silvertear Lake. I've got a little surprise for you. Oh, and come prepared to travel. Okay. I think you might be thinking of 5.5. This one still might be funny. You don't know. You might know. The Jumpy Man doesn't show up until 5.5. That bit is very funny. True. Hi, Riol. While Thancred and Urianger are off to Old Garlemald, I'll keep the information flowing freely between us and the Alliance. After all, close coordination's the key to winning this war. Riol's so cool. Alright, while we're on our way over, I posted a new Wicked Game chapter today. I'm pretty excited about that. I personally remember the details of this visit, just that they happen. So the Wicked Game chapter that I posted today is called The Fifth Wheel. Its primary purpose was to basically kind of set up just sort of like introduce the character of Mead, who was introduced last chapter, to the group's dynamic and just kind of like how people are responding to him, just kind of like first and foremost. There's a lot more that is going to be explored, especially with how like his place within the group kind of like grows over time, which I'm excited to get into. I'm not sure when I'm going to start on the next chapter. I do know. Oh shit! Nice. I do know that I definitely want to get started soon because I think I mentioned previously. There's a particular story beat I want to hit by the end of March. So, you know, I've got a good amount of time to do so. You know, we're only halfway through February at this point, as of today, Valentine's Day. I really wanted to get this chapter out on Valentine's Day, so I'm really glad that I did. And the next big thing I need to kind of aim for is the end of March with a particular story beat. And there's at least 1 or 2 chapters between that story beat and where we're at right now that I need to make sure that I kind of clear. Hi, Tataru. How long until the catkin becomes a part of the contract? Well... I give you the Bonanza, the Scion's very own airship. Ooh, ah, Donkey Kong. Hey, yo. Look out down below. Oh, Bonanza, not Bonanza. I built her as a company project with help from our friends at the Rising Stones, and named for her luck and prosperity. Tataru, this is amazing. We'll be able to fly just about anywhere we want. Our garments were impressive enough, but to build an entire airship... See, the annals do not exaggerate the many talents of the Scion's fabled coinkeeper. Hehe. I'd also introduced myself as your pilot, except the training didn't go quite as well as I'd hoped. But that's alright, because we've hired this capable fellow here instead. Hello! The Bonanza is equipped with a full complement of mana cutters, by the way. Feel free to use them to get around out as you slaw. But enough talk. How about you? It's time to fly. All aboard. The thing with the contract in Wicked Game is that it requires whoever is signing up to also be able to watch the others' backs. When the other aspect of the contract is being taken advantage of. Did I ever mention that I was fond of flying? Because I am. Be it on an airship, an Amuro, or a chocobo, there is nothing so exhilarating as feeling the wind on your face as the horizon unfolds before you. Yeah, he has a problem with that. He's not himself much of a fighter. He's a researcher, so... there's going to be some discussion about that. Like, the topic is going to come up. Sooner than you'd think, given the circumstances that chapter ends on. But you'll see. You'll see. It will all play out. Honestly, Sid would be jealous of the way that airship flies. Tataru has outdone herself. Anyway, here we are on Azisla. An Alphino's report did not do the scale of this place justice. Alphino's report sucked shit, quite frankly, compared to how this place actually looks. I'm embarrassed to be his sibling. So this is where you had your reckoning with Thornton. Wish I'd been with you. The wisdom of Alig. Grahatia surveys his surroundings with an expectant glint in his eye. This appears to be Helix, which means we stand in the Alpha Quadrant. To the east lies the Beta Quadrant, and... Yes, I believe I have my bearings. Though this is my first time on Azisla, I do have some familiarity with the place thanks to the records in the Crystal Tower. Unless I am mistaken, this path leads to an aetherite, beyond which there will be an informational terminal. I suggest we begin our search there. Gotta use the appropriate mount for the situation. Time for our authority on Allagan artifacts to show what he can do. And here's the terminal. A moment while I search the archives for references to tempering. Take your time, big guy. Bro, he is beeping and booping. Ah, there we are. Iconic corruption, an overview. That sounds promising. Indeed. Let us see what this report has to say. Bro, could you, like, swish your hand or, like, do the Iron Man thing? Maybe? Huh? Confounded, the contents appear to have been deleted. What? No! Isn't there something you can do? Not from here, I'm afraid. It may be that another copy of the report exists elsewhere. The question is, where to look? It says here, the report was written by someone named Owen? Is it likely that he kept a copy? I would say that it is a distinct possibility. Assuming he was a researcher here, he will have had quarters on the Habisphere. We can ascertain the details at Habisphere Control. Let us return to the Bonanza and avail ourselves of the mana cutters. We will need them to reach our destination. I forgot, you already have a suitable means of transport, don't you? No need to waste time accompanying us back to the ship then. We'll see you at the Habisphere. I have several means of transportation. I could ride a bike. I did, admittedly, kind of end up having, like, two chapters in a row that were, like, very heavy on, like, lore and exposition, which I'm not, like, opposed to, necessarily. Like, I would say Void Like Dark, Darkless Void was a pretty kind of, like, not extremely intense chapter, but we've got like some build up to get to, so having a couple moments of just being like, okay, we need to like rise up the action here. We need to kind of like ease back into like the exciting moments. So we do end up kind of having like a few chapters where it's just like, yeah, there's some stuff going on, but mainly we're kind of like using these moments to sort of like build out like character dynamics, go over like backstory stuff and things like that. Bzz. Welcome to Habisphere Control. How may I assist you? Mana cutters appear to be ironworks made, but I dare say Tataru will craft her own soon enough. If the late Owen did indeed have a chamber here, this node will be able to tell us its number. Beep boop, motherfucker. There. From what I can recall of the layout, it should be somewhere in the vicinity of... Warning. An evacuation order is presently in effect. Entry to the Habisphere is not permitted at this time. Foiled again. In all likelihood, the order would have been imposed during the Fourth Umbral Calamity, and I doubt it will be lifted in the near future. Bzz, energy levels critical. Returning to base for recharging. Bro, aren't you like Alagon royalty or some shit? Well, surely there must be some other way to gain access. Force, for example. Ere we resort to that, I have an idea. Were we to send a surge of energy through yonder control mechanism, it should prompt the system to restart, releasing the locks. As for a suitable energy source, a concentrated lightning shard might suffice. Happily, I seem to recall that they are known to form at points of stagnant ether throughout the continent. You seem to recall? Are you honestly telling me that was in the records too? Uh-huh. Ha! I am. A report sent to the capital mentioned that lightning-aspected ether was prone to pooling on the continent, resulting in surges that interfered with equipment. A minor detail, I grant you, but in my role as caretaker of the Crystal Tower, there was no such thing as too much Alagon knowledge. Besides, my studies helped me to feel connected to the source, to home. I must have explored this facility 1,000 times in my mind, but to finally stand here with the two of you is more exhilarating than I can well express. Smile. Now then, the lightning shard. If I may, I suggest we split up and search the Beta Quadrant. Oh, but beware of sprites. They are wont to manifest where the aether is stagnant. Now you're just showing off. Which makes me think we should make a contest of this. The first to return here with a shard wins. What do you say? Okay. Very well. It would be my honor to come third. Bro's already given up. Haha! Prepare to win, losers! There's actually a fair amount I was really excited to touch on in this chapter, if I'm being entirely honest. Up. Like, I had been wanting to get into the specifics of... Oh. Bravo! That was quite a show adventure. Why, the spectacle proved so enthralling that all thoughts of the prize slipped my mind. I appear to have forfeited our little race. Congratulations. The lightning shard is yours. What? No dramatic entrance? You've changed. You remember that? In my defense, I was caught up in the moment. It isn't every day you meet an honest-to-God's hero, after all. Well, the contest continues, so you had better hurry back. Ah, but one last thing. Drama King, true. Thank you, Eigild, for bringing me here. Yeah. The main thing that I remember, like, when I started writing this chapter, like, one of the things that, like, I kind of determined that I really wanted to touch on was, the element of Avalon's backstory that comes up. Because it's something that I had been, like, sort of, like, referring to, like, in various ways, just kind of in previous chapters, like in Familiar Skies or Sins Unforgiven. But ultimately, I did want to just kind of, like, straight up be like, oh yeah, here's what, like, people keep talking about behind his back. And more than anything, I wanted to do that because, like, the next few bits of, or the next, like, chunk of the story, it's going to have pretty big focus on it, or have a pretty big focus on Avalon. And just sort of, like, his character development. If you have a shard, then you win. I searched high and low, but couldn't find so much as a trace of stagnant ether. It appears Alice had no luck, so victory is yours. Congratulations. Now then, may I have the shard? Here you go. What is it that makes you so much better at finding things? What do you have that I don't? I don't know. That is a question I too have asked myself on numerous occasions. I suspect we can both learn a great deal from Eygild, and not only about the secrets of adventuring. But come, we should attend to our mission. Come. Berzap. Get zapped, idiot. Well, I'm taller than you two. I can see further. Excellent. The system responded exactly as intended. We now have access to the Habisphere. Only one obstacle remains. The security systems within. Should they be triggered, they could make life rather difficult for us. In light of which, pray leave the rest to me. If I'm right, my royal blood should allow me to venture in unmolested. You can't be using those words, man. Uh-huh. Assuming this place works like the Crystal Tower, yes, but if it doesn't, you'll be on your own. I want you to promise us that you'll get out at the first sign of trouble. I promise. Wish me luck. It's too late, the fan art and fanfics already exist. True! Well, nothing for it but to sit tight. Sure, this Owen fellow was very learned, but iconic corruption and overview sounds like a studium thesis. We all had to write one. Unless you wonder, mine was about the combat applications of ether. I'm nothing if not practical. Alphino's was more philosophical, of course. Political, dare I say it. He just read a lengthy discourse on our nation's duty to the world. Controversial subject, to say the least. He asserted that Charlian's knowledge should rightly be used to protect all life on the star, in direct opposition to the country's cherished policy of non-intervention. Being a leading member of the Forum, our father was not happy. I'm sure that won't come up at any point. At the time, of course, Alphino was utterly convinced of his views and would cheerfully argue to the death with anyone who saw things differently, by which I mean the rows were long. To be fair to him, though, he's since learned to be a little more open-minded. Deep down, he still holds fast to that one belief, and I admire him for it. Smile. Bink. I should have liked to meet the young Alphino. For what it's worth, my thesis concerned the Allagan civilization as depicted in folklore. Oh, you're back. I didn't know you attended the studium. I didn't. A thesis was required to earn my Archon's mark. My peers at the Students of Baldesion convinced me to write one with the promise of unfettered access to forbidden tomes. Though I considered it no more than a means to an end at the time, I will admit it was gratifying to have my efforts acknowledged. Good gods, an Archon's thesis. I shudder to imagine the work involved. But enough about that. Is this the fruit of your foray? Yes, Owen's archive node. It was waiting for me in his chamber. Imagine if you have a laptop computer, but it's like a big ball. Imagine if a laptop was a big ball. Why does that... Why do I find that so fucking funny? What if laptop was big and wound? fucking tired, man. What if lap ball inflates your laptop, making it big and round? Oh man, inflates your laptop like a Lenovo battery. Oh no. Oh god. If a copy of his report still survives, it would be stored in this device. Shall we find out? Wow. Blip initializing. Scanning for registered user. User not found. To proceed as a guest, please complete biometric authentication. Beep. Verifying. Your data has been sold to Alagon Google. They will sell it to a weapons manufacturer. Don't ask me why. I don't know how this works. Bloop. Authentication complete. Guest identified as member of the royal family. I am at your most humble service, your highness. It never ceases to amuse me. 'Tis but a pity the effect will not last forever. It's lasted long enough at this point. I feel like, do you think at one point, like, in the MSQ, we're gonna, like fucking Grahatia is gonna walk in one day and it's just like, hey guys, what's up? And then, like, his eyes are just gonna shift from red to green. Doga and Une said as much when they granted me this gift, but until such time as it fades, I shall use it gratefully. Search archive for iconic corruption. Bloop. Searching. Bloop. One item found. Iconic corruption. An overview. The report is locked by the author. Please state password. Well, go on then, your highness. Tell the nice node the password. What was occur before or after the twins' growth spurt? God, who knows? Right. Let's see. Glory be to Aleg. Yeah. Grr. Long live Emperor Zandi. Is it password? Blip bloop. Password incorrect. Please try again. Confound it. Come now. Passwords are invariably short and simple. For instance. She's gonna say password, isn't she? Password! The notion that the password could be something so inane would be laughable were it not dangerously stupid. Furthermore, your conduct and presence of His Highness is grossly inappropriate. Know your place, handmaiden. What did that thing just call me? So anyways, Alice and Wool Delina are best friends. Yeah, I believe it. Wild Rose. Bleep bloop. Password incorrect. Again, be warned that any further inappropriate behavior in the presence of His Highness will not be tolerated. Alright, that's it. I say we dismantle it and manually extract what we need. Now, let's not be too hasty. A single misstep and we'll risk losing the report altogether. I believe this may be a task for Sid and his colleagues. If anyone can coax Machina into cooperating, it is them. Okay. Come, let us bear the node back to the Rising Stones. Pray return. It's like a big wall. What if your laptop was a orb? Blip, threat detected. Ball is love. Fine, I'll let Sid try his hand first, but if that doesn't work, we're doing it my way. Reviving the legacy. Grahatia seems eager to bear the note away. Yeah, otherwise Alice is gonna fucking spear the thing. I should probably mention that I have yet to meet Sid since waking up. Rambros did send word to the Ironworks, but it appears our friend has been afield on urgent business. Yeah, we've been doing some stuff. Nevertheless, I assure you my proposal to seek his help is no pretext. However much I might look forward to seeing him again. Him and everyone. But come, let us be on our way. Okay. Yeah, he built, like, a Gundam for me. It was like a whole thing. Yeah, Sid's been busy building 3 Gundams. Look at him, all but running. How sweet. God, fucking... One of the servers that I'm in was talking about, I think they were, like, new Gunpla kits that were announced. And there was this one that was, like, a green Gundam where, like, its arm is just a big fuck-off cannon. And it's got, like, a bunch of, like, missiles and shit all over it. And I'm looking at this thing really puts the gun in Gundam. Yeah, the Leopard. And I saw that, I'm just like, oh, I need that one. I still need to finish the one from G-Quax that I got. The one with the Ava Unit 1 color scheme. I still haven't finished that. I'm running behind on some stuff, unfortunately. Have you seen the Heavy Arms? Because I have not seen the Heavy Arms. Hold on. Let me look. Let me do a quick little funny little search. Gunpla Heavy Arms. Oh, I love him. There's like 3 versions of Heavy Arms, and they keep strapping more Gatling guns to it every time. I think last version has 2 Gats in both arms, plus his chest. Heavy Arms Gundam model kit. Okay, that's Master Grade. I don't want Master Grade. Master Grade is going to be a nightmare for me. Okay, here's one. I think the one that I'm looking at right now, it looks like it's pretty simple. Gundam Heavy Arms Custom HGAC 144 model kit. $28. That's not bad. Like, I think that's like a pretty standard pricing. Let me take a closer look at you real quick. You don't seem like you've got a lot of stickers, which I appreciate in a model kit. Do I want this one? I'm going to add that to my cart and think about that. Okay. Still want to do to keep him waiting, shall we? Yep. Beauty, beep, beauty, beep. I didn't build that one, but I remember it got good reviews. I like, a lot of my favorite Gunplas are the ones that look like they are just kind of like your like bog standard like mass production models. Like, I like the Jims. One of my favorites is the gun cannon. I do have the gun tank. It is buck wild to me. I think, because if I recall correctly, I remember reading, like, the gun tank model that's out right now is the same one that they've been selling for, like, a decade, and it's still, like, $15. There's at least one piece on that thing that just, like, will not stay secure on it. So, like, I don't handle that one very much. We've had this discussion before. I can suggest Demi Trainer, Debbie Barding. I have, oh god, what do I have? I've got, Choo Choo's Demi Trainer, I think, and the Demi Barding. I've built those ones. Yeah, that's the one. I also got, oh god, there's like the anti-Gundam mobile suits from The Witch from Mercury that like look like bats. Like they have like a really cool like head shape. I've got like the base version of that one, not the like the one that's like that one dude's custom that's like purple and white. I got the one that's like red and purple. That one's really good. Sorry, we'll turn this into a Gundam stream. I'll hush. Yeah, the Begware line is cool. Yeah. I do like me a good Zaku. Zakus are dope as hell. There's a few really good, like, mass production ones from Witch from Mercury. Like, they've got, there's the ones that kind of have, like, digitigrade legs a little bit. I forget what those ones are called. I can see one over on my shelves on the other side of the room. But those ones are always my favorites. I don't know what it is. Natalie described it as, I got Natalie one of the gym models because I thought she would like it. And the way that she described it was so, like, really kind of, like, puts the appeal of those particular ones kind of into sharp focus. Where she described the gym as just a guy with pants on. And when she described it that way, I'm just like, God, you're so fucking right. And that's such a good way to describe it. It's such a good way to describe the appeal of things like the gym and like other one and like the other like mass production models from Gundam. We're just like, yeah, they're just dudes with pants on. That's so good. Oh, you know what I've had on like my back burner? Like I've got I'm sure plenty of other folks who are into Gunpla as a hobby. I have a backlog. I think because in addition to needing to finish the G-Fred, I've also got, oh god, what is that? Build Burning. I'm looking. It's on top of a set of bookshelves on the other side of the room. I've got Build Burning Gundam and Jim Sniper, I think. A healthy backlog's good. It is. I've also got like a Transformers model kit that Natalie got me for my birthday a while back that I still haven't built. It's Acid Storm, just in case anyone's curious. A somewhat canon gender fluid transformer? Of course it's Acid Storm. There's at least one Transformers canon. I want to say it's like one of the recent like comic series. They literally melted his gender. I take it you have news to share? So do I. Oh, good. I love news. I'm pleased to see your mission was a success, and in no small part due to the Bonanza. Kryl's back too. I wonder what was decided at the council. Blip. Large low-born presence detected. Fuck off. Wonderful news, Igel. Tataru contacted Sid on our behalf, and he is on his way here, even as we speak. Only wait, I should very much like to hear what transpired at the Alliance Council. Would you be so kind, Kryl? As you know, the meeting was convened to discuss how best to respond to recent events in Garlemald. According to the intelligence from our Doman allies, the War of Succession rages on and the Empire remains without a leader. Amidst the chaos, the Imperial legions in the provinces have begun to move independently of the motherland. Of greatest concern to us is the Third, a legion aligned with Lord Nerva, It appears they have received substantial financial backing from House Brutus. Oh. Yatsuyu's house. Brutus. Aren't they the ones who took in Yatsuyu and Asahi? This bodes well. Uh-huh. Xenos' movements, meanwhile, remain shrouded in mystery. We're hoping that Thancred and Urianger will be able to shed some light on his activities when they return. Oh, Never's the third. Yeah. Till such time as they do, the Allied leaders feel it would be unwise to interfere in the conflict, and so, thanks in part to the Imperial withdrawal from Gimlet, they have decided to turn their attention to the primal problem once more. Working with friendly factions among the beast tribes, they hope to reopen dialogue and explore new avenues for peace. You can't call it that anymore. Given the timing, I suspect they wish to put their respective houses in order ahead of a decisive clash with the Empire. Whatever their intent, this is not a problem easily solved. The Laminsons in particular struggle in their efforts, and Alphino and Y'shtola have been called upon to aid them. So long as we are dealing with the Tempered, I'm afraid no amount of dialogue will avail us. If we can develop a treatment for tempering, then anything is possible. Which is why we must succeed. Uh-huh. And on that cheery note, why not make yourselves comfortable in Dawn's Respite? I'll show Sid in as soon as he arrives. Uh-huh. I understand you took a little trip to Aziz's La. Raha made himself useful, I trust. You could say that. Made the respite cozier than ever. You're gonna love it. Isn't this the last time we hear a certain someone speak voiced lines? The fuck was that? As important as Gabu is to me, I know only too well how much more is at stake here. A cure could change the whole world. Sid, at long last. Blip bloop. Warning. His Highness is exhibiting elevated blood pressure. Oh, do you mean Nero? Maybe. It has been a hot minute since Nero's been relevant in, like, the current run. Though, to be fair, it's been a hot minute since anyone in Eorzea has been relevant. Hey, guys. Yeah, Graha's here. Sid! I miss them. Yeah. Everyone's excited to see Gwaha. Forgive us for not coming to see you sooner, my friend. As you may have heard, we have had our hands full. In our defense, you are up rather early. I was under the impression you'd be slumbering a while longer. He kind of did, to be fair. Oh, I would have been, had you not fulfilled your promise. Ah, I still struggle with that idea. From where I stand, the secrets of traversing time and space seem exactly as unfathomable as they ever did. But if an alternate version of myself has already laid them bare, I dare say that frees me up to concentrate on other endeavors. Speaking of which, you wanted my help with something. What was it? Ball. Well, a treatment for tempering. For the next step, you need to find the password to this Allagon's report. Uh-huh. Just so, with nary a clue to guide us, we could be here forever and still not guess correctly. And thus we turn to you. Punch. Well, I'd love to say that we could help you. So I will. Once suitably configured, a Magitech terminal should make short work of identifying the password. I knew I could rely on you. Now, anticipating that might be of use, I took the liberty of borrowing a tombstone from Rambros. It contains an Allagon dictionary. He'll go. I'll go. Good thinking. I'll transfer the information to a terminal and set it to work right away. Wait, is this the part where they build a crypto farm? God. Ah, looks like it's finished. Let's see. Freedom. The password is freedom. Freedom. The password is Oh no! Someone has stolen all my apes! I'm kidding. Sid wouldn't be into NFTs. Nero would organize a rug pull. Ah, short and simple, just as I said. Would you care to do the honors, Your Highness? I would, milady. Node. Open the report entitled Iconic Corruption and Overview. And, fuck. Understood. Self-destructing. No! Node. Open the report titled Iconic Corruption and Overview. Password, freedom. Password accepted. Boop. Operating report. Or, fuck, opening report. God damn it. Self-destruct. Hey guys. My name Owen. This report seeks to provide an overview of the mechanisms by which icons corrupt and blind? God damn it, what is with me tonight? Bind men to their will. You know, I had that hairstyle for a bit. The phenomenon we call corruption refers to the alteration of the ether of the soul. Listen, you don't hear me self-destructing every time I make a mistake. Maybe you should. Have you tried? Said ether ordinarily exists in equilibrium, no one element being more prominent than another. But when a subject is exposed to the ether of an icon, this changes, their soul taking on the properties of the entity in question. Hey! It's Sephiroth! That's a different guy. By way of an example, exposure to the aether of the fiend Sephiroth would cause a subject's ether to become aligned with the element of Earth. He's here to temper you to liking FF7 more than FF6. As a consequence, the subject would attain heightened affinity with Earth-aspected magics, as well as preternatural levels of endurance. Repeated exposure would further enhance these traits, ultimately altering the subject's very flesh. Get altered, dipshit. The changes undergone by the subject are not solely attributable to elemental alignment, however. Further testing has determined that the subject's soul becomes umbrally charged or stagnant during the process. Kamen Rider time, back later. Enjoy Kamen Rider! The stagnation of the soul has the effect of diluting the sense of self, rendering the subject vulnerable to the will of the icon, the thoughts of whom come to consume their entire existence. In this manner do the corrupted become worshippers of the icon, their prayers serving to further empower the entity. And then he punches them in the fucking face and decimates them. Having discerned the mechanism of iconic corruption, my colleagues and I set out to develop a material capable of shielding one from its effects, an endeavor in which we were successful, albeit at great cost. In the course of testing, many of my assistants, good men and women all, fell victim to corruption, and in accordance with protocol, they were summarily put to death. I subsequently submitted a proposal to investigate potential cures for corruption, but it was rejected, deemed non-essential by Lord Amon. Amon, you say? That guy sounds familiar. Though I knew it would be fruitless, I protested the decision. For my impertinence, I have been stripped of rank and title and will shortly be expelled from this facility. In all likelihood, this report will be expunged from the archives. Nonetheless, I record it in the hope that one day someone will undertake to do that which I could not, and find a cure for the victims of iconic corruption. End recording. So not even the Allegans were able to find a cure, or rather were not given the chance to do so. One cannot help but wonder what motivated Lord Amon's decision. One can only guess. Maybe we'll find out at some point. More importantly, this confirms that stagnation of the soul is indeed the problem, and Angelo can remedy that. True, Yet were we simply to reanimate a tempered soul, I fear it would do not to diminish... fucking goddamn. I fear it would do not to diminish the individual's fanatical faith. Indeed, it may well intensify it. No, we would somehow need to suppress the primal's hold over the subject at the same time, or risk them ever remaining its thrall. So there's no point in reviving their souls unless we can also restore their sense of self. But of course, memory transference. The process has the effect of compartmentalizing memories, separating them into manageable bundles, if you will. By adapting that technique, it may be possible to achieve selective reanimation, that is, limit the effects to only those memories that existed prior to tempering. Through thus restoring the sense of self, we could theoretically drown out the incitements of false faith which had come to dominate the individual's thoughts. I see. The theory seems sound. Our experience treating the light corrupted would help us to identify suitable memories for reanimation. But are you confident you can adapt memory transference as required? I seem to recall your attempts to do so while trying to bring us home culminated in literal bloodletting. They did, you are right. Despite my best efforts, I could not recreate the mechanism. And I concede that the rather clumsy compromise I reached would not provide the basis for a cure. Then perhaps it's better that we consider another approach. Your doubts are understandable, but this time I believe we have reason to be confident. You see, nodes such as this were built with the ability to simulate magics, which leads me to believe that it may be capable of performing simulations of the transference technique. If so, we would be able to conduct years' worth of tests within the space of a few days. In theory, it would be no different from how we identified the password. But it'll take more calculating power. A lot more. I honestly couldn't say whether our equipment would be up to the task. Tell me, Sid, why do you suppose Owen locked his report behind a password? To keep it from prying eyes, of course. Why else? Wait. A password that could be guessed by anyone with leisure and a dictionary wouldn't keep it from a person minded to look. No, he wanted his report to be seen by those who strive for freedom. Not unlike the members of a certain distinguished engineering collective. I believe their motto was freedom through technology, or some such. Oh, he's talking about us. You two, round up as many Magitech terminals as you can find, and bring them to the workshop. Right away, Chief! We're going to destroy the price of RAM for years! What's RAM? Things are about to get very busy. Lucky we have you to help, eh? What am I gonna do? I don't know computers. All those Magitech terminals won't come cheap. Shut up, Tataru. Some things you shouldn't put a price on. Girl, we are literally curing tempering. Suffice it to say, I shall be of whatever help I can. We're getting there, Igeld. One step at a time. As with our first foray into the Labyrinth of the Ancients, we seek to venture into the unknown, and in order to succeed, we require not only the knowledge and preparation, but daring besides. Just like old times. ... Right, while Grahati and I configure the terminals, I want the rest of you to procure supplies. Namely, ceruleum to fuel the terminals and ice shards to keep them cool. The more we have of both, the better. Leave the ice shards to me. I'll round up some adventurers and go on a gathering spree. In that case, I'll trust Igeld and Alice with the ceruleum. Here's a promissory note for each of you. Thank you. Thank you. Take them to the Skysteel manufactory in Ishgard and the ceruleum processing plant in Thanalan. The people there will give you what we need. Yours is a well-known face in the Holy See, I believe. If it's all the same to you, I'll head to Thanalan. Okay. Guess we need a reason to go back. We shall see to it the terminals are ready by the time you return. If Alice is bound for the ceruleum processing plant, you'll want to take yourself to the Skysteel manufactory. Off you go now. Alright. That reminds me, there was a story that came out recently, I guess like years and years ago, as part of... excuse me, as part of like a the marketing campaign for what was it? One of the Diablo games. There was a giveaway for a computer cooled with human blood. And apparently that computer is still going really, really well to this day. Like, I think they said they haven't had to replace anything having to do with, like, the cooling system, which is buck wild. And according to the person that owns it, like, it does apparently literally have human blood in it. We don't know whose blood, but it's likely that it is mixed with the coolant. And while we also don't know the, like, ratio of coolant to human blood, the stuff is apparently a dark red. So, it's just insane to me. Hi, Stephanivian. Command unavailable in New Game Plus mode. We can't talk to Stephanivian under New Game Plus. Welcome back, Mr. Sygeld. How may I serve you this day? I got this thing. So you are after ceruleum. In that case, please present the note to our engineer at the airship landing. He shall be glad to assist you. Okay. It's kind of wild to me that, like, I think the last 2 jobs in FF14 that have, like, a formal, like, I say formal headquarters. Like, this is the reason that they are here explicitly. Was the Machinists, and I'm assuming probably, the Astrologians. In Heaven's Word. Because, like, not even really Dark Knight. Dark Knight was, like, a corpse you found on the ground, and then a couple of folks that hang out at the bar, right? And then I think, like, the next, like, what's the word I'm looking for? The next class that had anything close to that was Reaper. Aw, man. Where it's just like they've got a place that they hang out in Thanalon. It's not like a formal office or anything. Because they're kind of there, like, clandestinely. We have to go to the Athenium Astrologic. Come! Excuse me. Sup, fucker? Ceruleum, you've come to the right man. Fair warning, though, the price has shot up on account of the uncertainty with the Empire, so I hope you've got the coin. I got this. Well now, a promissory note from the Ironworks. Don't see many of these. Not that it's a problem, it's as good as gold to me. Bunny, bunny, bun, 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 bunny, 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 bunny. Oh, hey, look who's wandering in. Oh, is this one voiced? It looks voiced.
My friend!
Oh, thank God.
After the disappointment of not seeing you in Alamigo, what good fortune to chance upon you here of all places.
Sup, fucker? Where? Smile.
As you may have heard, the Allied nations are making a renewed effort to address the primal problem. To that end, have I invited the chieftain of the Vanu to Ishgard, that we might together plot a course.
Hey dog, how's it hanging? Like a horse, I hope.
Since the war with the Empire appears to be nearing its conclusion, I would also like to call upon Estinian's lance. Alas, he is, as ever, a difficult man to find. I am informed he recently paid a visit to the Rising Stones. Should he happen to do so again, be sure to pass on my regards, won't you? But tell me, what business brings you to our fair city this day?
A little of this, a little bunny, banana, bunny of that.
A cure for tempering. You never cease to amaze me. Until now, our only hope has been prevention, our every failure irrevocable. But this would rewrite the rules of engagement. It could end the cycle of bloodshed.
Man, he's really excited about this.
Very well. You shall have all the ceruleum we can provide, and an airship with which to transport it.
Bro, it's cool. I already, like, you don't know how to... Okay.
In this matter, you may count on Ishgard's full support.
Hello, I'm back. Jesus Christ. Hi, thank you. They say, you good?
Who would have thought ceruleum weighed so much?
Girl, did you bring it back here yourself?
Serves me right for being stubborn, I suppose. I should have just done what you did and accepted help.
Oh my god, she carried it back here herself.
Good work, you two. This is all we asked for and more. Quite a lot more now that I look at it.
I forgot what Sid's voice sounded like. Yeah, I may have run into Emmerich. Blah 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 bunny 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 bunny.
Lord Emmerich, eh? And entirely by chance. Ha! Some people have all the luck.
We have also succeeded in configuring the terminals, thanks in no small part to our able assistant.
It's been a while, hero. You seem surprised to see me. Lest you misunderstand, I've no interest in such things as cures for tempering. But if you mean to achieve that which eluded even the storied Allagans, it seemed plain that you would require my expertise. And so it proved. Is that not right, Garland?
For all the effort it took to track you down after your latest disappearing act, you could find the cure for death, and it wouldn't be worth the trouble.
That wasn't the only reason I agreed to cooperate. I'm reliably informed that Garland and I are destined to unravel the secrets of travel not only across dimensions, but through time. Doubtless the lion's share of the credit lies with me. 9 parts to Garland's 1. And this research will be a stepping stone to that illustrious achievement.
Very well then. I'll do 1/10 of the work. Just the part that's beyond you.
Whatever you say, Garland.
Right. If everyone's ready, let's begin.
Alright.
All appears to be in order. Now, we just have to wait for it to find us our magic. Why not take this opportunity to put your feet up? This may take a while.
Yeah, sure, take your time. I'm just scrolling through socials media.
It's overloading.
That's bad, right?
She won't last much longer!
We'll have to shut it down.
Wait! We're close! So very close!
Oh.
Well, this is going swimmingly.
Please, a moment longer. I beg you. There.
Why the fuck did it ding like our goddamn fucking Hot Pockets were done?
I was able to memorize the magic before it faded. It still needs to be put to the proof, but I believe we have our cure.
Okay, how the fuck does magic work that, like, he was able to memorize it? What? Wave your staff around in this very specific way.
It's just as well. She'll never run again.
The fault is mine. I'm sorry.
Don't be. It may fall short of dimension hopping, but a cure for tempering is not to be sniffed at. This, my friend, is a world-changing discovery. One we're proud to have had a hand in. A few Magitech terminals are a pittance to pay.
Thank you.
Well, we've done what we can. The rest is up to you.
Okay. Alright. Da 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 da. So we finally have it. The cure for tempering. All that remains is to put it to use. I shall be praying for your success on the front lines. In the end, we didn't have to pay for the terminals, which is great for us, but I can't help but feel for my counterpart in the Ironworks. Alas, the Ironworks crew couldn't linger long, far too much to do. Yet brief though our time together was, it was bloody good to see them. Forget us not. Alice has only one thing on her mind. At long last we have our cure. In theory, at any rate, we cannot be certain till such time as we put it to the proof, but I am quietly confident. Well, if we're to test it on someone, then I suggest Gabu. His symptoms are relatively mild. It'll be fine, I'm sure of it. I'm so fucking confident. Yes, as long as we exercise due caution, it will be fine. Without further ado, then, let us make for Limsa. We've kept Gabu waiting long enough. Do-do-do-do-do-do. Gabu, 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 gabu. Whoa, God. Oh, there's a concert. What on earth is going on here? There's Snow White and 7 dwarfs? What on earth? Just a bunch of Lalafell Dark Knights just posing in front of... What the hell? I'm gonna leave. Very strange. Was not expecting that. Glaga. 'Tis plain Alice is very fond of Gabu. To the extent that I have a hand in it, I shall do all in my power to bring him back. Alice. Well, this is the moment of truth. I'll have our host bring Gabu to us at once.
Apologies for the wait.
Oh, this one's voice too. Cool. Hey, big guy.
Gabu, have you been good?
Still no change, I'm afraid. He just stands there in silence until we move him.
It's all right now. We're going to help you get better.
Fancy meeting you here.
Oh, hey, Alphino.
Alphino, Y'shtola! I thought you were attending to primal matters.
We are?
We were,
Or they
and
were.
came here for a meeting on the subject. Certain pirate factions did not deign to attend, however, and it was cancelled.
We had resigned ourselves to having wasted a journey when we chanced to espy you. Could it be that there has been progress with the treatment?
You could say that.
Using Magitech terminals to formulate the solution. I would never have contemplated such an approach.
So this new magic, adapted from memory transference, would be used to purge the subject of their fanatical faith, while Angelo would be responsible for reanimating the ether of their soul. Yet I wonder at the practicalities. If one were to reanimate the soul first, it would only serve to exacerbate the tempering. Conversely, a stagnant soul would not respond to the effects of the magic.
Yeah, that's we were working on that.
Would both need to be performed simultaneously?
Ah, nothing escapes Master Matoya's inquiring eye. As you say, both must be carried out simultaneously. And thus, I propose to imbue Angelo with the tempering treatment in much the same manner as I did the spirit vessels.
Angelo!
By doing so, we also spare Graha the trouble of casting spell after spell. It's really rather efficient.
Be that as it may, certain difficulties are unavoidable. The imbuing process will still require no small amount of ether.
Kamen Rider was really good this week.
And as I can no longer draw upon the Crystal Tower's stores of energy, I will be compelled to rely on those of others.
You're that one dude from that anime just like, who's talking about
Well, I,
that? We're
for
talking
one,
about
would
One
be
Piece.
glad to assist.
Kamen Rider was crazy good this week.
As would I. Since the resumption of
You're
our
just in time for
duties,
Angelo.
It has been naught but stuffy meetings, and I have ample ether to spare.
Excellent. With your permission then, let us begin.
They're blasting him with
Yes,
lasers.
this will do.
And now, it's my turn.
He's blasting him with lasers.
'Tis done.
No small amount indeed. Whew.
Well, we seek to go where even the Allegans did not. It was never like to be easy.
Yeah, and those guys sucked ass.
The rest is up to you, Alize. The treatment itself will take time and focus, so we will need a quiet room. I'm sure our hosts can spare one.
Oh, my energy drink's out.
I will go with her. It may be a while before we return, so I would ask for your patience and your faith.
I'll give as much as I can spare, but I'm not really good at either of those.
We'll bring Gabu back. You see if we don't.
Except for Alice. I have immeasurable faith in Alice.
'Twould seem our part is played. Let us find a place to recuperate while we wait for news.
Aye, aye. What? Excuse me. Alice will succeed, I'm certain of it. We need but have faith. Well, this seems as good a spot as any to have a rest. Okay. Are we going 3 for 3 on voice cutscenes? Please say yes.
For years, Eorzea has labored to find a solution to the primal problem, without success. Any hope that tempering could be reversed faded long ago. I myself had given it up as impossible. Given up on the tempered and the light-corrupted alike. They were problems to be tolerated, or else eliminated, I believed. And to think otherwise was pure naivety. Childishness, even.
That sounds like
but
a you problem.
Alize refused to give up. She struggled and she struggled. And her efforts were rewarded with a way to bring back Halric. And now countless others may no longer be beyond salvation. However much we bicker, I have the greatest respect for my sister. Had I half her stubbornness, nay, her unwillingness to accept the status quo, I would be a far better person. A far better scion.
You probably still would have made the Crystal Braves. Well, if it's any consolation, she's in awe of your work.
She told you of my graduation thesis. How very embarrassing. Nonetheless, it is comforting and not a little surprising to hear that I'm still capable of impressing my sister. On the rare occasions I'm not annoying her, that is.
Alice wouldn't make a PMC. She wouldn't, but like Alphino, with Alice's sense of stubbornness and refusal to accept the status quo, would probably make one that's worse. Old Alphino would have. She just armed herself with a bunch of RPGs. True. Which ones do you think she would choose? Dragon Quest? Chrono Cross? Oh, she's CB.
Alize, are you all right?
The treatment. Did it work?
Hello, Xanda. Welcome. You're just in time for Gabu. FF8, it has the heaviest jewel case.
Oh, I'm so glad to see you all. Delighted, happy, glad.
I'm gonna cry.
Gabu!
Fuck, I wasn't ready. Oh my god. I knew it was coming and I wasn't ready. I'm so happy. I'm okay. I'm okay. Woo. Gabu!
This time, my mind was filled with thoughts of Great Father Titan.
I'm so glad I don't have to voice this because I wouldn't be able to do it.
Mother and father, always, they were in my heart. Constantly, ever, always.
Ooh, okay, I'm fine. I'm fine.
I tried to focus on their faces. Theirs and yours. Alize's and everyone's. And I found that I could remember. One thing, then another, and another.
I need a fucking moment. Oh, boy. Whew. Okay. Okay. Oh, God.
Your hopes reached Gabu. They helped him to hold on.
I'm alright. I'm okay. I'm holding it together.
I'm so proud of you, Gabu.
Fuck. I'm holding it together.
I couldn't have done it without you, Alize. Can you help the others too? Cure them, heal them, help them.
Yes, we can. All of them.
Oh, boy. Okay.
Without wishing to dampen the mood, I feel compelled to add certain caveats regarding the viability of the treatment for general use.
Yeah, of course, sure.
As you know, reversing the effects of tempering demands a profuse amount of ether. And while Alize was able to heal Gabu alone, I fear the same will not be true for those who exhibit more advanced symptoms. Moreover, the treatment's effects are limited to the soul. It offers no succor to those whose very flesh has been altered through prolonged exposure to a primal's influence.
Sucker this dick more like. Who said that?
All of which is to say that we cannot save everyone.
Must have been the wind.
Maybe we can't, or maybe we can. No one gave us a hope of saving Gabu, and yet here we are. We must find a way to treat as many as possible.
Alice is not fucking taking that shit.
Then the next logical step would be to produce a veritable army of Porkses, would it not? Granted, it seemed a simple enough process in the first, but I suspect it will be different here in the source. Not that I am any authority, of course.
Yet there is an authority on familiars to whom we may grudgingly turn. She's stubborn, haughty, eccentric, irascible, laconic, annoying. And her name is Master Matoya, the real one.
She loves her mom so much.
I have to go now, Gabu. But the people here will look after you, all right? And I promise to come and visit you again soon.
All right. Thank you, Alice. Thank you.
Holding it together. Whew. All right. I do really like that with Graha being just like, listen, there's a lot of caveats with this magic. We're not going to be able to save everyone. And Alice being immediately like, fuck you, we won't. We're going to try, god damn it. I appreciate that so much. Alice always being the one to, like, spit in the face of, like, narcissism. Not narcissism, that's the wrong word. Nihilism? Cynicism. Alice always being the one to spit in the face of cynicism, like, on every single fucking level, is so good, and I love her for it. Kronos, having hope but no plan is pointless. FF14, meanwhile, fuck you, I'll make it work. Put Alice in Kronos. If Alice was put in Kronos, Veronica and the Pathfinder would have gotten everything figured out before the Traveler showed up. Funny, her name is also Master Matoya, the fake one. There's a post-Shadowbringers quest I really want to be here for, but I'm not sure when it happens. Yeah, that's my girl. Our girl, comrade. Alice will be exhausted from her efforts, but you wouldn't think so to look at her now. If she is ready to press on, then so am I. We did it. We brought Gabu back. And if I have any say in the matter, he'll be the first of many. You may recall that in order to procure the ingredients for Angelo, we had no choice but to surrender ourselves to the whims of the Pixies. But I should have done so with far better grace than had I known what we would go on to achieve. Like master, like pupil. Oh, this is the dungeon! Oh man, I was wondering when we were going to hit the dungeon. We're like 2.5 hours into this stream. The trace of a wry smile is visible on Y'shtola's lips. As she will be at pains to remind me, I have not paid Master Matoya a visit since returning from the first. But this seems as good a time as any. Come, let us make for her cave. Let us indeed. To Idleshire. If Alice was in Kronos the New Dawn, that shit wouldn't have happened. I gotta go shower. Enjoy Schwer. Go get yourself clean. Okay, no, hold on. Alright. Oh, hold on. Let's see here. Hive barding. Why are we shearing all these iddles? Alice would scruff the warden and drag him back to the time rift at the hospital. Fix your shite. She would do that. It's true. Oh, that's cool barding. Yeah, a lot of, like, the boss-themed bardings are, like, stupid cheap on the market board, especially for, like, older, expansions. Okay, now I'm showering. Enjoy clean. Enjoy the warm wet. God. There was like a specific way I used to like tell somebody to enjoy taking a shower. Nah, I shouldn't talk about that. Hi, Guaha. Master Matoya is something of a legend among Archons. I very much look forward to meeting her. If not the dressing down I am liable to receive for my inept attempts at summoning you. Don't worry about it. It's just like, it's this weird thing where it's just like, whenever I was like flirting with somebody, there was a specific way I'd phrase it. And it's to the point, like, I think what happened is that, like, I said it so much with folks like that, that, like, now it's just it's almost like, it's the first thing I think of, and it's just like, I can't just say that to someone. I end up having to catch myself and just like, wait, don't say that. That would be a weird thing to tell somebody unprompted. It's just practically a reflex. It's so weird. Do you remember when last we came here, it was to find out why the others had collapsed? If someone had told me then that they'd been whisked away to another world, I would probably have laughed in their face. You live and learn, hey? Yeah, hanging on the edge of tomorrow. It has been some time since Master Matoya last saw Y'shtola. What a lot they will have to talk about. Yeah. I take it you are ready to bear witness to the joyous reunion of master and pupil. Very well. Conditioned yourself. It's like a fucking QuickTime event just appears in front of my face, just like mash X to not say the embarrassing thing.
Nary a word from you all this time, then you bring every man and his pirogo with you. Did no one teach you any manners, girl?
Nice to see
They
you
were
too.
Busy teaching me etherology, Master. Jesting aside, I wanted to be the one to express our gratitude. I am told you spared no effort to sustain our bodies while we were away, and for that, we owe you our lives. Thank you.
You were gone so long. I was starting to think you'd set your heart on staying.
It wasn't easy to leave, as it happens. Seldom does one have the opportunity to study other worlds, and I would not have minded extending my stay by a handful of years.
Yeah, there's a dude there that's super into her.
Ever the scholar. Y'shtola dedicated herself to studying ancient civilizations of the First, befriending a tribe known as the Knights Blessed in the process. There she took on the name of Matoya and won the respect of all the children of the forest.
Dude, you're not supposed to tell her that!
I merely adopted an alias in accordance with the custom of my hosts. Yours just happened to be the first name that came to mind.
They can't let each other know they care!
You mean to tell me you went gallivanting about using my name and only bother to visit when you need a favor? And don't pretend you don't. I taught you long enough.
Indeed. And devoted pupil that I am, I could not fail to recall my master's sage advice. When the answer eludes you, look to the wisdom of your elders.
You there. Were you going to introduce yourself?
How remiss of me. Grahatir is my name, and I am proud to call myself a scion. I too wish to offer my gratitude for your invaluable aid in sustaining the Archon's bodies, as well as my apologies. It was my inexpert summoning spell which endangered their lives in the first place.
Ah, yes. The one bent on digging up the mysteries of Alag. Old Galaf used to speak of you, and Kryles told me all about your recent exploits. Do you have a bad back or something? At ease, boy. Whatever mess you've made, I'm not in the habit of dwelling on the failings of the younger generation.
I think he might be older than you, actually. Technically speaking.
You are too kind. I've also heard much and more about you, Master Matoya. 'Tis an honor to finally make your acquaintance.
How old is
Well,
Master
that's
Matoya?
more
Like
than enough
40?
pleasantries for anyone. Tell me what you want. I haven't got all day.
Look at this thing.
So that's the way of it. It should be a simple enough matter to make the familiar. The magic, on the other hand.
Ah, that you may leave to me. Being the only one possessed of royal blood, I alone can imbue the subject with the necessary magic.
So I just need to create porxes with the power to stir the soul. Just, I say. Though we're talking about a veritable herd of the little buggers, we'd collapse before we reached double figures. But if I could get a familiar to create the familiars, a mother porxie, as it were.
Big gross egg sack.
Seems I haven't seen the last of that moldy old hole after all.
All right. A porxie that produces porxies. What an inspired idea. By the way, Ageld, do you think I misspoke earlier? I assure you it was not my intention to embarrass anyone. No, you absolutely misspoke. In case you've ever wondered, Alphino got his innocent streak from our mother, and it can be rather endearing, even useful in certain situations. But most of the time, it just makes me want to shake him. Poor Y'shtola. Moldy old hole. She really must miss the place. Where does she mean, do you think? Some manner of hidden workshop, perhaps? Alphino is like me, opening our mouths too easy. Yeah, remember the other day? Alright, off to my old workshop then. Everything required to make your familiar is there. That may be, but no one has set foot in there since the Exodus. I dread to imagine what has become of it. Oh, there's sure to be a handful of feral familiars and mayhap a monster or two, but nothing to trouble the likes of you. You can consider cleaning up the place a payment for my help. Don't remind me, it's what I was thinking of. Fine, we'll do it. Good girl. Now, if there are no other objections, I suggest you run along to the Maker's Quarter. I'll send one of my Piragos ahead to let you into the workshop. You need only tell him who you are. One can't be too careful after all. Off you go. What are you still doing here? Off to the Maker's Quarters with you. I'll join you when I'm ready. Go on now. Shoo! Fuck, alright. Okay, excuse me. And on your right, you will see the Primal Alexander, trapped in a time bubble. Everyone say hello, Alexander. Well, he's mostly trapped in a time bubble. Part of him sticking out. One of my favorite, like, memes is, like, when like, there's, like, a top 10 video, and it's just, like, top 10 bosses in FF14, or something, like, completely unrelated to FF14, just, like, top 10 this, or this. And it's just, every single one is perfect Alexander. It's one of my favorite fucking jokes. It's funny every time. Oh, I'm so glad she sent us with the filthy frog. I know the meme already, it's really good. Judging by the unruly state of the flora without, I think it's safe to assume there will be no shortage of unruly fauna within. Add to that the undisturbed secrets of the workshop, we have the makings of an adventure! Workshop was an unforgiving place even before the Exodus, and I doubt the years of neglect have improved it. Grass could certainly do with a trim. As I may have mentioned, Alice and I were still very young when we departed with the Exodus. I had to be Ishtola for remembering the city as it once was. Greetings, Ribbit, and welcome to my good mistress's relict. Puro Rogo is my name, and I am honored to be your guide. I'm filthy. Within you will find a space dedicated to the making of familiars, along with a cavern wherein the requisite ingredients may be had. I must warn you, however, that the place has not played host to a single soul, much less a brew, in over 15 years, and will, I regret, be in some disarray. It will be a dungeon, but rest assured my brothers and I shall see to it that you do not lose your way. Now then, Ribbit, only say the word, and I will show you in. Matoya's Relict, now accessible. Sick. So, Eigeld, shall I lead the van, or would you rather I followed up the rear? Whatever you prefer, I am happy to adapt. So come, let us go and make our mother Porksy. He is the all-rounder. I was still a child when I last came here, but now I am rather more capable. Not that Master Matoya seems to have noticed. Mayhap she will when I have cleaned up the mess she left. I'm no stranger to porksy making, as you know. That must count for something. Froth and foam. We don't get froth and foam yet. Though it has been a while since last I joined the fray, I have followed Alice's example and practiced whenever possible. My healing magics are as ready as always.
I stand ever ready.
Register for duty. Just get in there. In it. Oh shit, I haven't updated my portrait. God damn. No, I'm gonna have the default DMV photo. Fuck. Hey, guys.
Right. To begin with, I need you to gather a few ingredients.
When did you get here?
Listen well to what the Porogos say, or you'll wish you had.
Yeah, right. Let's go. First things first, we need to harvest some clay. Oh, it looks so bad. The clay can be had at the clay cauldron ribbit through this portal, if you would. Earthy portal. Let's go. Schlorp. Alright. I'm really good at putting down pests, so, I mean, like, you know. Heading off to bed. Night, everyone. Good night, Lila. I don't think we have any trials between now and the end, if I recall correctly. So we shouldn't have to worry about, like, needing additional party members. No, there are none. Yeah, no. I was trying to remember, because, like, obviously there is the fight with the Warrior of Light, but I couldn't remember, like, I think... Is there another one? Or do you only get 4 in the back half? Or in the... I don't remember. Anyway. It's not important. Wah! Squiggins. Kick the ass. Alright, first boss coming up. Ah, bitch. Sonny of Ziggy! Okay. Ah, the Mudman. Where? Get that Mudman. It's kind of fucked up looking, just a little bit. Healer, heal me, perhaps? Listen, you may think that perhaps I shouldn't get mad at a computer-controlled character for not playing the game properly, but I feel like they should know better than anyone how to play the game properly. Oh, fuck. I feel like I remember hearing somewhere that, like, the Trest NPCs are generally, like, programmed to make sure that the dungeon takes, at a minimum, half an hour. I don't know how true that is. Okay. Ugh. This is all very Sorcerer's Apprentice coded. I gotta watch. You know what I need to watch? I need to watch that Sorcerer's Apprentice movie again. The one with, like, Nick Cage and Alfred Molina and the kid what played Hiccup in How to Train Your Dragon. I don't know. I like Nick Cage. Oh god, the trailer for Spider Noir came out. That's right. I had been wondering for the longest time what they were going to do with that series. Because, like, I've read the Spider-Man Noir graphic novels, so I generally have an understanding of how they go. And it was just, like, the entire thing with, like, this whole thing is that it's meant to kind of capitalize on the character's appearance in, like, the Spider-Verse movies, right? And, like, oh, people like this character in the Spider-Verse movies as he's played by Nick Cage, and it's just like, listen, I don't know if you've read the Spider-Man Noir graphic novels. They are not exactly kid-friendly. Like, for God's sakes, the backstory is that Uncle Ben gets eaten by a cannibalistic carnival freak. And let's not even get into the second one, which actually does, like, in Spider-Verse, Spider-Man Environment is just like, oh yeah, I love punching Nazis. Punching Nazis is my favorite thing to do. And I mean, like, that's great. I love that for him. Nazis only barely factor into, like, the second one of those graphic novels. And not necessarily in the way that you'd expect. Like, they're definitively painted as obviously not good people. But they're not like the primary villains of that graphic novel. Sounds like a normal thing for Nick Cage. Sure. To be, like, true. God, I should rewatch fucking, what is it? The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. That's such a good fucking movie. I think it's maybe a little bit strange that, like, in Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, they gave Nick Cage, like, a fictionalized family. Because, like, I feel like there's... I think it would have been fun to do, like, maybe a fictionalized version of his actual real-life son that he named Cal after Superman's Kryptonian name. Like, literally. I do appreciate that they keep giving Nick Cage opportunities to play, like, for, like, comic book adaptation roles, because the dude pretty blatantly loves comic books. Like, I can respect that. And I do have, like, a soft spot for, like, the first Ghost Rider movie. I think it's a fun romp. Spirit of Vengeance is maybe bad, but not because of Nick Cage. No, it's just, you know, bad. It's just not good. It's not good from first blush. It's nothing to do with the presence of Nicolas Cage. Oh gods, it's still here. Yeah? This one look familiar to you? You stole it? Immediately she hits it with the limit break. Water, water becomes spears, things of flesh to bone and pierce. Water, water, flow so swift, wash away and set adrift. Y'shtola, why does it speak in rhyme? I don't know. Certainly not my fault. Ahaha, such fun. More water. We need more water. Whoa. Waha. No, all my water is gone. But I can't lose. I won't! Whoa. Fucked up. Wahey! I don't know, there's a lot of movies I really want to rewatch. I've had an itching to rewatch the Jurassic Park series for a little bit now. Exacerbated a little bit by a video that I sat in on Natalie watching the other day. Wow! Oh, fuck. She was watching a video that was basically about how, like, the person making... It was a video essay. The person making the video essay felt like Jurassic Park as a series has kind of... What's the word I'm looking for? Squandered most of its attempts to use dinosaurs as like a vehicle for horror. Like, they don't, like, anytime there's like a big action scene, like, anytime there's a lot of like big action scenes where it's just like a bunch of people all being set upon by dinosaurs in like huge like open areas, but pointing out that like it uses its horror its best when it has like more claustrophobic moments. Like it points out that like a few of the best examples of this is like the kitchen scene with the raptors in the first movie, or even going into like the Jurassic World series, the bit at the end in the house with the Indoraptor, and then also that like Jurassic World Dominion and Jurassic World Rebirth kind of like also fuck up the idea of like introducing dinosaurs to like kind of domestic like everyday life and like what sort of effect that would have. And I do have to agree on that, but in my mind, like, Jurassic Park has never really been about the horror. For me, like, the Jurassic Park series, like, is at its best when it is looking you in the eye and saying, hey, did you know that dinosaurs are cool as shit? Like, every single movie, something that they have managed to maintain, even as those movies are at their worst. Oh, getting gabbed for some Night Rain. Have fun, everyone. Alright, have a good one, Xanda. Even when those movies are at their worst, one thing that they have consistently is at least one moment where it's just like, dinosaurs are super cool and are just like majestic fucking creatures. And every single time that that happens, there's a part of me that watches it happening. I'm just like, God, dinosaurs are so fucking cool. Consistently. Like, I was watching Jurassic World Rebirth for the first time. Which, Jurassic World Rebirth is not a particularly good movie. But Jonathan Bailey is pretty good at it. But I was watching Jurassic World Rebirth for the first time, and I kept sitting there thinking just like, I wonder if this movie is... Because, like, Jonathan Bailey's character in that movie is basically, like, engineered in a lab to be the guy who is just like, dinosaurs are so fucking cool, and to have, like, a really emotional moment upon seeing some big fuck-ass lizard, right? Woo. Like, that's his entire character in that movie, is I'm gonna see a big lizard and I'm gonna get emotional about it. And then he sees a big lizard and he gets emotional about it. And it's a really good scene, actually. Probably one of my favorite in the movie. Because, like, it does kind of imbue you with that fucking, like, majesty, that goddamn sense of awe that just, like, yeah, dinosaurs fucking rule. And then you get to the weird, like, bioengineered ones and just like, oh, those look like shit. And then there's the piss scene, and it's just like, why is there a pissing scene? I don't know. This movie sucks. Yeah. But I really want to rewatch those movies. I've talked about this before. I have an idea for, like, a tier list stream where, like, I rank people who get they shit ate in Jurassic Park and World movies based on how much they deserved it. I've talked about that, like, several times on stream now, and, like, I really do need to just kind of buckle down and just do it. I love this cavern full of gay magma. They're putting chemicals in the lava that's making the fucking Feebads gay. Oh, my neck. Ugh, I'm okay. It's time to bake ourselves a porksy. Look at that wad of clay.
Right then. Let's get this over with.
She seems
Newborns
upset.
are wont to be difficult. Sure, who's in charge?
Okay, go beat the shit out of her. Porcelain, Mother Porksy. Girl, okay. Fuck. How do we get down there? Oh, there's stairs. There's a stairs. Regal raiment? Really? Don't show any fear. They can smell it. Garb aside, I suspect the creature will be anything but regal. Is lost in the dark. Your proud angels bathe in their wages of blood. Tenderloin. God. I always forget that the fucking puns in this game are like next level. Woohoo! Okay, now what? Okay. Oh, shit. Ah, fuck. She's giving us the suck. Ooh. She's sucking harder. Ooh. We gotta try really hard not to get sucked. Wahoo! Ugh.
Stubborn.
Let us continue. Let our work continue. Ow. I think part of the reason that, like, I am just, like, thinking about, like, oh, I've got so many movies I want to rewatch is partly because, like, I feel like I haven't really had, like, a huge drive to rewatch movies the same way that I normally would recently. And I don't know why that is. It might just be a mood thing, honestly. But I know that sometimes, like, it's really just kind of, like, less about, like, the actual act of doing it and more about, like, the act of starting it, you know? Like, I feel reluctant to watch a movie, but what that really means is just, like, I'm kind of having trouble, like, getting myself motivated to, like, click the play button, you know? Like, once I actually, like, start the movie up, like, I'll definitely, like, watch it. I mean, for God's sakes, I watched that fucking movie with, like, the animated adventures of fucking Christopher Columbus and his shit-ass woodworm friend. Nobody wants to talk to me. I see how it is. Have we finished, then? She's twitching. Is that normal? Quite a fight she put up. Nothing quite like a kiln fresh familiar. I never knew familiar creation could be so rough. Take that. Thank you. And I think part of it is also like the idea just like, oh, I'm watching these for research purposes. Good morning. Hi.
There we are. Quite tame.
She's fine now. She's normal.
Then all that remains is for me to imbue her with the magic. My friends, I'm afraid I must trouble you for your ether once more.
Oh, your soul is not even bothering this time. Grr. They are blasting him with lasers once more. He is blasting her with a laser.
That should suffice.
Good. Let's set her to work then, shall we? I want to see some porkses. Assuming that is, someone can spare the requisite energy. A mere drop in the ocean for the great sorceress Matoya, I dare say.
Ah, there it is. Now she's blasting her with lasers. Man, everyone is so tired. Okay, cool. We have 3.
Excellent. Our very own litter of Angelos. And we can make as many more as we want, simply by providing the mother Porksy with additional ether.
I will require a moment before I try again.
It's still hard work, but a damn sight more efficient than making them one by one. Thank you, Master Matoya. Everyone, we're a step closer to our goal.
Yay! I love being a step closer to goals. It's so much better
Distributed
than
amongst the
not
allied nations,
being that.
They should do much to facilitate closer dialogue with the beast tribes. And given their present travails, I believe our friends in Limsa Laminsa should be the first beneficiaries.
Wow.
Agreed. Though I must leave this errand to you. I doubt my legs will carry me out of the cave, much less to Vilbrand.
Do you want me to carry you?
Thank you for taking the lead in gathering the ingredients. I expect you would benefit from a rest too.
Oh, are we coming up on the end of the patch? Oh.
In addition to the Porksies, I trust you've gained an inkling of how much effort goes into the creation of familiars. Or mayhap you attribute your struggles to old age.
If I said yes, would it persuade you to treat me like an adult?
Not with that pertness, it wouldn't. Anyway, assuming you have no other favors to ask, I shall be leaving.
Okay. And there she goes. Guaha. Forgive me if this is a silly question, but of all creatures real and imagined, why choose a flying pig? Not that I dislike pigs, mind you. Fuck if I know, man. Given it was her first time making a porksy, Master Matoya did a fine job, though she did have Angelo for inspiration. Lest you wonder, Master Matoya has returned to her cave with Y'shtola. They are as peas in a pod, are they not? Alphino, shut the fuck up. You may now enter Matoya's relic with a party of NPC avatars, blah 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 blah. The Admiral's resolve. Alphino is eager to deliver the good tidings to Limsa Lominsa. Well then, my friends, let us return to Limsa Lominsa and deliver the good news to the Admiral. A word to the officer in Bulwark Hall should be sufficient to secure us an audience. Boo-doo-doo. Let's go. I did start watching Bullet Train recently, and I've been having some fun with that. I need to finish it, though. Even as we speak, we are weaving a new future, and when it all becomes history, I hope that those who follow may look back with gladness. If we offer them the means to cure the tempered, the beast tribes are far more likely to listen. Though the Admiral is not expecting us, I am certain she will want to hear our report. Come, let us request an audience. Bouquet? Excuse me, sir! Why, Captain Sjork, ever a welcome sight. Oh, right, I'm a captain here. Tidings for the Admiral, you say? She is presently receiving guests, but for the Scions, I know she will make she will make an exception. Follow me. Who should you be having guests? Oh. Well, that's convenient. Sup, fuckers? Oh, hi. My friends, what brings you here this day? Is this true? By the Navigator. A cure for tempering. As often as I have been in awe of you, Scions, I would not have thought it possible. And yet it is, Admiral. We have done it, here in Limsa, and production of more familiars has already begun. You have my thanks, truly. This will do much to advance the cause of peace, yet I fear it will take more to close the rift twixt man and beastman. Bah, even to speak thus divides us. Welcome as it is, a cure will not guarantee reconciliation between our peoples. For though summoning in the tempered may serve to fuel the conflict, they are but symptoms of it. If we are to resolve the primal problem once and for all, we must address the cause. We must strive for mutual understanding and find a way to leave our bloody past behind. 'Twas I who moved that the Alliance renew its push for peace. Since our ancestors came to these shores some 7 centuries past, we Lominsans have been at odds with those who share our island home. Save for a brief moment of cooperation with the kobolds, our history has been one of nigh constant territorial squabbling. Meanwhile, our struggle with the Sahagin for control over the seas has only grown fiercer, a matter made worse by the thrice-damned calamity driving them to seek new spawning grounds. With survival at stake, each had no choice but to fight, and so I dismissed peace as impossible. Impossible is a word coined by the weak, I proclaimed to all who'd listen, and then gave up. You and yours put me to shame. Since you led us to victory against the Black Wolf, you have achieved the impossible again and again and again. And I thought it high time that I followed suit, hence my proposal to the Alliance Council. But no sooner did I reach out to our neighbors in Vilbrand than my own people sought to thwart me. You speak of the pirates who failed to attend the meeting. Aye, acting through a friendly faction among the kobolds, we had intended to seek an audience with a prominent patriarch. But the bloody executioners would not hear of it, and their absence sent a message to the rest. Oh, are we gonna meet that guy? Oh, I think we're gonna meet a very fun recurring NPC soon, I'm pretty sure. Though they are but one of the 3 pirate powers, they are the greatest, and any attempt at peace would founder without them? I think that's supposed to be flounder. I am given to understand that their leader, Captain Hilthier, has been bedridden for some time with an ailment of the lungs. Correct. In his absence, his right hand leads, a man named Sickard, but recently risen to prominence among their ranks. Save for his disdain for authority, little is known about him. We have invited him to speak with us more than once, but he will not come. Have you tried tempting him with a piece of hot male Elysian ass? We have tasked the Yellow Jackets and the Rogues with uncovering his motives, but they have learned naught of any value. Leave it to us. Leave it to me. We have a nose for the truth. Whatever the Sickard wants, we'll find out. Truly, I would be much obliged. I shall look forward to hearing what you learn then. Good luck. The Admiral's right. The cause of the conflict needs to be addressed. We'll do what we can to ease the way, but it ultimately falls to the Laminsons to make peace with their neighbors. I think I talked about this previously with regards to just sort of like modern FF14 plot lines. I think one of the interesting things about this particular plot development is that it's something that has been building up ever since like 1.0, right? Like, we started A Realm Reborn, and the issues with the beast tribes, quote-unquote, big quotes, big finger quotes, is something that had been going on forever, for, like, multiple reasons in each case. And it's something that, like, when discussed, has always kind of been a case of just, like, this is as much the fault of the allied nations as it is with the tribes that they're quarreling with, right? And, like, we are, by virtue of the narrative, allied with the nations themselves, but there's enough there that it's just like you kind of look at the people you're allied with and it's just like, hey, y'all are kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? Y'all are kind of at fault for this, you know? Like, this is a problem of your own making, and it's something that you're gonna need to figure out. So, to get through, like, all the stuff in A Realm Reborn, the Allied Society quest for that, get through Heavensward, get through Stormblood, take a brief side trip to Shadowbringers, and come back and find out, hey, because we have, like, a respite with the whole shit with Garlemald, we're genuinely trying to make some real progress with the Beastmen of Eorzea, quote, big air quotes again, Beastmen of Eorzea, is kind of a huge deal. And as much as people, I feel like to point out just like, oh, you're allied with these nations, but they're not innocent in these conflicts. They are complicit in X, Y, and Z. And it's just like, yeah, that's kind of what makes it interesting. That's kind of what makes it an interesting story to follow all the way from Realm Reborn up through here where we're at in Shadowbringers, and then what that means when, like, the leaders of those societies show up later on at a really important moment in Endwalker and everything. It's the culmination of just, like, nigh on a decade of this game, like, coming to fruition. A decade of, like, narratives and side narratives, etc., etc. And I feel like that's something that's missing to a certain extent with more recent FF14 stuff, where it's just like things are already too tidy. You know? Like, I think that, like, how to put this? There's a lot of really good conflict in the back half of Dawn Trail. But there's an issue with Dawn Trail where it's just like a lot of people really don't like the direction the conflict goes in Dawn Trail because they feel it takes away from sort of like the main narrative in the first half of Dawn Trail. It's one of like the bigger and, quite frankly, more valid complaints about Dawn Trail that people have. But part of the issue there is that the stuff in the first half of Dawn Trail gets resolved pretty succinctly, for the most part. Like, by the end of the first half of Dawn Trail, everyone's doing fine, except for, like, one guy. There's one guy who's having, like, a really bad time, and he's the one that ultimately decides to make everything... He's the one who decides to make it everyone else's problem in the back half of the game. And I don't know, like, what necessarily the thought process behind that was, because just, like, there's certain elements within, like, the context of Dawn Trail's narrative where it's just, like, you kind of step back and you take a look at it, and it's just, like, there's not really a lot of, like, high-stakes conflict here. Like, there's some tensions, to be sure, like, especially when you get to... what is it? When you get to, like, Mamuk and the other place, the one that, like, the Turali Hrothgar live in. I forget what it's called. But when you get there, there is pretty definitively some serious tensions going on. But everything that you do there resolves those tensions pretty handily, and there's not really anything left for the narrative at that point. There's not much, like, there's definitely stuff that you then do in, like, side content later on, but it's really just kind of like epilogue-ish. Like, it's just, you already resolved things. Here's how this is going to play out from here. Here's how everything gets kind of tied up in a neat, tidy bow. And it's all reasonably low stakes. Like, again, the very first Allied Society quest line that you have in Dawn Trail is making a travel agency. All of the Allied Society tribe quests all of the Allied Society quests in A Realm Reborn are about, like, infighting between factions of the different societies that are, like, integral to, like, a lot of, like, their basic faith and, like, the tenets of that faith. So, like, I think that's something that I kind of... That's an issue that I do admittedly kind of have with, like, more modern FF14 stuff, where it's just, like, a lot of the stuff in, like, A Realm Reborn up through Endwalker is stuff that was, like, building up over years and years and years and have so much huge stakes behind them. And, like, you look at it now, we're only just looking at potentially wrapping up, like, lingering plot threads that started all the way back in A Realm Reborn. And then, like, one thing in Dawn Trail is just, like, you fix things up pretty good, like, within a reasonable time frame in Dawn Trail. There's really nothing quite on this level that isn't resolved by the end of, like, by the end of Dawn Trail. Like, there's some stuff that we're starting to get into, especially, like, with the back half of the Dawn Trail patches. But a lot of it still seems like pretty just like, oh, hey, you solved the problem. Great job. Like, we're good. We got it from here. Just like, oh, well, sure. Okay. To be clear, I love Dawn Trail. Dawn Trail might be my favorite expansion. But, like, I will admit there's things I miss about, like, other parts of FF14. And I don't know, maybe whatever we've got for, like, 7.5 and whatever 8.0 ends up being will blow my fucking tits off or whatever. It'd be nice, but we gotta wait and see. A lot of this does have to do with the fact that, like, a lot of this stuff was already, like, here when I started playing it. Like, I started playing, like, before Endwalker came out. So by the time I started, like, replaying... Well, I shouldn't say that. I started playing back when Realm Reborn was new. I started replaying. I started up playing again when Shadowbringers was wrapping up in, like, 5.55. I know not of the city save what I've read or heard in passing, so in this matter I will follow your lead. By way of a first step, I suggest we split up and make inquiries around town. Someone must know about this Sickard. If you could approach the Pirates, Igale, the rest of us will seek out merchants and adventurers. Pirates love me, it's fine. Is that concert still going? It looks like it is. It was very weird, like, warping into Limsa, and like the Aetheryte, plaza looking like very sparse, and then just looking over, it's just like, oh, it's because everyone's over there. Right. Okay. Over by the Aft Castle, and then over by the Culinarians Guild. Okay, let's go to the Aft Castle. Shoo. Hi, Roswin. Are you still hopelessly in love? Oh, hi, Abroka. Captain Roswin led the Sanguine Sirens to the top of the food chain here in Limsa. You want to join the meanest crew on the sea, then you'd best bloody your cutlass and thicken your hide. Bunny bunny bunny. Eh? You want to know about Sickard? He's a wily bugger is what he is. Found some clever way to make coin, they say, and traded it for Moonskate's place at Old Hilfir's side. There was a time we raced the Executioners for our pick of the Empire's fleet, but the Garleans are gone, and them days with them. Owing to which, we've all of us had to look for other ways to make ends meet. With that jumped-up Bildrat Sickard landing the juiciest, whatever it may be. Not that we Sirens are struggling, mind. We do well enough guarding fishing boats from the fishbacks and other beasties. Get the first pick of the produce for our trouble, see? Quality stuff at a bargain price. This we pass to our sisters as can't sail on account of getting old or wounded with child, and they cook it up and sell it for a pretty profit. Simple. I miss the old days, don't get me wrong. When I see the girls with their little ones, I think to myself, life of peace and quiet ain't all bad. If you hear how that scrawny whelp's making that much coin, you tell me, alright? Make it worth your while. Oh, she wants a domestic life so bad. Sometimes a person just wants to settle down. Nothing wrong with that. We're probably going to go ahead and call it a stream after this quest is done and or dusted. Because it is getting pretty late. But I started kind of late, so that's to be expected. Hi, Carvalane. Curious about Sickard, are you? As am I, my friend, as am I. Sadly, I know nothing of the man, save that the bloody executioners experienced a marked improvement in their fortunes after his promotion. Quite how he achieved this is a matter of some debate. As you know, the thalassocracy permits us to attack only Garlean vessels, yet these have all but vanished from the seas since the Empire turned in upon itself. In order to adapt, we Krakens have taken to trading with the East, but the executioners are less forward-looking. I cannot imagine they would willingly abandon the old ways. So how, then, are they lining their coffers? Whatever their secret, they are not like to share it with their rivals, but mayhap you will have more luck. Mayhap, indeed. While we're on our way to finish this quest line, or finish this particular quest, I do want to take this opportunity to thank everybody for coming by the stream. I hope you all had a good time. I know I did. If you enjoyed the stream, you can subscribe here on Twitch. We have special emotes for subscribers. You can also follow me on Blue Sky and Tumblr at AcidXShark. That's AcidXSHRK, where I post all the streams as they happen. Or you can follow me on YouTube at AcidXShark, where I post all the streams after they happen. Art for the stream was done by... the chat blocker was done by Isaac, who you can find on Blue Sky at Knucklebone. That's Knucklebone. With rigging... VTuber was done by Teva, who you can find on Blue Sky at Teva Meow. That's TEVAMEOW. With rigging by V747, who you can find on Patreon. Walking through the city, one would never suspect this was until recently a bastion of piracy. The Admiral is to be commended for overseeing so swift a transformation. Upcoming streams. Tuesday, Aliens vs. Predator. We're going to be starting the Predator campaign. Thursday, Deltarune, continuing into Chapter 4. Friday, we will be doing No One Lives Under the Lighthouse. Next Saturday, some more of this. Continuing inward to further... stuff in the Shadowbringers patches. As I went about making my inquiries, I chanced upon a shop that boasted a rather enticing selection of sweetmeats. Perhaps we could take Gabu and Graha there one day. Sure, man. I see everyone has returned. Now, who would like to go first? Bunny, 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 bunny. Ugh. My neck feels like it needs to crack, but it won't let me, so it just hurts. So, just as their imperial prey began to disappear, Sickard turned the executioner's fortunes around with a mysterious new source of income. Whatever it is, it's nothing to scoff at. According to a tavern keeper I spoke to, the crew have been indulging themselves as never before, but no amount of drink seems to loosen their tongues as to how they are coming by their coin. For my part, I spoke with a reporter from the Harbor Herald. The publication has been investigating the secret of the executioner's good fortune and making little headway. Plainly, the executioners do not wish the nature of their business to be made public. And I think I may know why. In the course of making inquiries on Hawker's Alley, an interesting fact came to light. Just as the executioners began to enjoy better fortunes, the price of crystal went into sharp decline. A sudden fall in demand, I was told. Curious, I contacted Hoary Boulder, who has been watching the movements of the beast tribes, and my suspicions were proven correct. Despite ever-worsening relations between the beast tribes and the thalassocracy, neither Titan nor Leviathan have made an appearance of late, suggesting that the kobolds and Sahagin lack the means with which to summon them. Do you mean to say the executioners are divesting them of their crystals? All indications point to that conclusion, yes, but we have no hard evidence as yet. We must investigate further. Agreed. So how do we proceed? Oh, I have an idea about that. In fact, I have already taken the liberty of making certain provisions. I don't like that smile. That smile makes me nervous. Oh, do I know anybody streaming right now that we can raid as we finish up here? Let's take a look. 17 is doing Arcadian Prague. So let's go ahead and pop on over to his stream as we finish up. Got here right at the end. Did you beat up the... Did you beat up the files guy? Oh, that guy! We killed him last stream. Well, technically we didn't. Technically the big robot did. Popped his head like a fucking grape. Or a squape. Yes, hello Zilla. I'm sorry that you're showing up at the end. But, yes, we are going to go ahead and end it here. Stick around for the raid, and I will see you next time on the Shark Stream. Same Shark time, same Shark channel. Take care, everybody.